Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Hey, Bradley Cooper. What's happening, baby?
You know what it's like when, like a Twilight Zone episode or something, where like you're watching the TV. This is an episode where like I'm watching the TV,
And then all of a sudden you're inside the show.
And you're looking at me, and I got the and all of a sudden I'm inside the show. It's crazy.
It's weird for me too. It's weird for me that it gets weird for other people too. Like when I see people being weird about it, I'm like, it's okay.
I feel comfortable, just so you know.
Oh, good. You look comfortable.
Yeah, no.
But
it's excitement.
It's weird for me. Like I was trying to explain this to someone. They're like, do people have a hard time being comfortable on the show? I go, I kind of do too. It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's weird that many people are watching.
Yes.
And then you start thinking like, oh, don't fuck it up. Don't say that.
Right. But if you think about it, the fact that you did this long form setup and that we live in a culture where people at least say that it's all about short term.
Yeah.
It goes against it. The people are interested.
Yeah. Well, the short-term stuff does work, you know? Like, short attention span stuff is very popular, even with me. Like, but I have been resisting it more and more lately. I'm like a fucking heroin addict, like slowly weaning myself off the drug. And the more I wean myself, the better I feel. Like, physically better. My brain works better. I feel more relaxed. I don't feel like this, like Sugar Sean O'Malley, the UFC fighter, he said, even when I'm just scrolling, even if it's not anything about me, he goes, there's just like a low level anxiety that I get. I'm like, yeah, because like, you know, you're wasting your time chasing a fix that you're never going to get. And you're just like getting these short drips of like, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, scroll. But that's not what people really want. What people really want is something engaging, something you go, wow, that's like a great documentary, like which are still super popular. Like a great documentary, they're still, you know, like huge on Netflix and huge on YouTube. So there's
Oppenheimer was like 3 hours long.
Right,
and,
exactly.
Made $1 billion. So people went.
Humans didn't change. It's just you can hijack the reward system by giving them some short attention span nonsense, and it just like tricks their slow drip dopamine into like continuing to watch this stupid shit. But that's not what they want.
No.
You know, it's not what I want. You know?
It's the difference between like, just a little drip of something that has the illusion that I'm getting what I want as opposed to what I actually need.
Yes.
Which is sort of a reminder that I exist.
Yes. Yes.
And that I'm communicating with somebody and I can relate to it.
Yes.
Which is a different thing. And I only know this because I've never been on social media, but sometimes. There was one time I somehow got on TikTok and it was all police footage.
Oy.
You know, like, and I remember laying on my couch, 40 minutes went by and I was just doing this. And there was like the first part of the video and then what happened? And then like the second part 2. And that was the only time I experienced, I thought, I got to stay away from this because I won't leave the house.
It's bad. It's bad for you too because it programs you to think that is going on everywhere in the world. Like if you have 8 billion people that are interacting with people all over the world and you only take the worst examples of that and broadcast it and then it becomes viral and millions of people think, it rewires your way you think about human beings.
But the other thing is about memory. Someone was talking about Niagara Falls the other day and I thought, I've been there, right? And then I'm like, have I been there? Or did I see a video?
Right.
Or was that one of the things when I put the Oculus on?
Right.
Honestly, I can't remember, but I know what it feels like to be looking at it.
Oh yeah.
So it's changing the way memory works.
100%.
Yeah.
I've hit a wall in my memory, like a tangible wall, because and I think it's connected to like Dunbar's number. Like Dunbar's number is the amount of people that you can keep in your head, like because we evolved in these tribal scenarios. We evolved with like 150 people, and so the way Dunbar calculated it, there's like very close, intimate, close circle people, which is a small amount, and then immediately after that, there's a slightly larger amount, and then it gets up to It gets up to like 1,000 people. 1,500 people. That's the most amount of people you can keep in your head. So it's like 5 people that like you're tightest of tight, and then 15 are like slightly outside of that, and it gets all the way up to about 1,500 people, recognizable people. But
I would think I'd be able to that you could keep in your head.
Yeah. But I'm way past 1,500 people, so I'm fucked.
Right.
Like, I am, like, there's people that I know really well, and then I see them, and I'm like, I don't remember his name.
1,500 sounds right.
And it seems bad. Like, I'm like,
Yeah,
why can't I
I can't
remember
keep
his
more than
fucking
that.
name?
Oh,
I can't remember his name.
I'm horrible with names.
But it's just because my hard drive sucks. It's like I don't have enough room.
Right.
It's like, when the old iPhones, it's like you've run out of, max space. Like, oh, jeez, I got to start deleting photos and videos.
Now,
and
do you get anxiety with that, or do you just sort of breathe through and say, well, it's just the way it is?
I kind of just deal with it. I
Yeah,
mean,
me
it is
too.
what it is. But my memory itself is like very good and also very bad at the same time.
Yeah, me too. I have a serious problem remembering people's names.
Well, you think about how many people
Like,
you
as I
meet.
was saying it, I was like, and I've watched the show so many times, I was like, Jamie, right, that's Jamie. Like, as you were saying, I'm like, let me see, who can I remember? Do I remember any of the guys I just met? I can't tell you one. I just met them, shook their hand, looked them in their
They
eyes.
say their names
Yeah.
and it just goes
I
in
just
and
can't.
out.
Yeah.
And some people get upset. What's my name? I'm like,
know.
I don't fucking
yeah.
know.
Oh, you don't remember me? You don't, I'm like, you don't remember? No. What's my name? And you're like,
Well, that's why in Hollywood people love to say, good to see you.
Right.
Instead of nice to meet you. Like,
Yeah.
bitch, you met me 2 years ago. Like, I don't remember.
yeah. Leonard Bernstein had a great thing that he would always do. I loved you in the last thing you did.
Ah, that's funny. That's funny. Speaking of which, I watched your movie. Is this thing on? And it's good. It's really good, man.
Oh, thanks,
it's,
man.
It's one of the best representations of someone attempting to do stand-up. It's a really good film. And but it's not really just about stand-up. It's about these people with this. It's about they're actual human beings. Like, these are complicated, real, like, not caricaturish, not cartoonish people. Like I get that these are real people.
Right. Good.
Complicated, real
Yeah.
people that are trying to figure out their relationships.
Good.
And in the context of this one guy, Will Arnett, is attempting to do stand-up.
Right.
So it was great.
I'm glad you say that. Like, so because I moved to New York in '97, and then that was my introduction to any comedy world. Other than with my dad, I used to watch Rodney Dangerfield's New Year's Eve special. We used to watch it every year, and it was Elaine Boozler and Sam Kinison and Dice and
Elaine Boozler, I forgot about her.
I'm pretty sure she was on there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I was obsessed with Dice when I was like in 8th grade. I memorized one of his records, and I would do it in the train station with all my friends. Because back then, that's all you did, right? You would memorize stuff.
Oh, yeah, me
There was
too.
no video to look at. You wouldn't all sit around. You would just memorize and then, regale your friends
Yeah.
with your impersonation of him. And then, and Richard Pryor was my hero growing up. That was my idol. So I had this thing with stand-up comedy, and then I moved to New York, and I'm all of a sudden immersed with these clubs, and Upright Citizens Brigade had just started. And I did this movie, Wet Hot American Summer, and there was all these people. I didn't even know about The State. Remember that show on MTV? There was this, all
Sure.
this. And so I just, little by little immersed myself into that world, and I just became fascinated with the culture. And then Zach Galifianakis, who I met like in 2001, way before Hangover, I used to go and watch him do stuff. And I just love the culture. And when Will was telling me about this, I was like, oh, let's set it in New York and the Cellar. Because I just love the geography of the Cellar, too, that you go in the olive tree and you walk down into this place. It's this whole other world. And it just felt like, I really want, like, can we pull this off where it's authentic, where you were watching it at home and you get a sense of the fact that you're saying that, you feel like it got it, within the striking distance makes me really happy.
Yeah, it's striking distance. It's like one of the only films. Or like, Punchline was an interesting film, the Tom Hanks, Sally Fields.
Yeah, of course.
Comedy, but it was bullshit. Like, you watch it, like, what, they have lockers? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, and also the comedy wasn't good. It wasn't real comedy. It was like, it felt flat and fake, and people were laughing at nothing. The Will stuff felt real.
Yeah.
It felt real. Like the clubs felt with like a guy trying to work
Right.
out what it's like to be on stage and open mic. And then the fact you got Jordan Jensen in, who I love.
Yeah, of
She was
course.
fucking great. I texted her afterwards. I'm like,
Isn't she
"You
great
killed
in the
it."
movie?
She's great.
Yeah, the
She's
minute
so
I started
natural.
shooting her, I was like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, and the first thing I had shot with her was one of her sets, and I was just up there with the camera, and I came around, and her profile, and actually, I felt like I was in *A Star Is Born*. She looked a lot like Gaga and Ally, like singing "Shallow."
Oh, wow.
I had like this weird moment. I was like, whoa. And then she was just incredible. And then as it went on, she had a larger part of the movie. And then that whole thing when they're talking about the small penis, and we go up to her, and just her writing that down, and she was just so fluid. And I was like, oh yeah, she's got it, man. She's got it.
She's great. She's really great. She's a really unique person. Like a very unusual person. Like even just talking to her on a podcast.
Grew up on a farm with 2 moms, and amazing. Yeah, she could do anything.
I know, and she's so fun. She's fun on stage too. Like she's great, like working the crowds. Very smart.
Very smart.
But like her character, like the way she interacted, I'm like, oh, that's so realistic. Like we should fuck. Like that
exactly.
Scene.
Yeah, exactly. And then you go back to the like East Village or Chinatown apartment. You know, they live in it's all one room.
Yeah. I believe it.
Yeah, me too.
It was great. It's like, you know, you're never gonna really capture stand up in a movie because it's like, to capture what it is, you would need like years.
And also you would need a movie dedicated to it.
Exactly.
The movie's not dedicated to it. Do you know what I mean? It was just about can I make you feel like you're there, that you're with him on stage.
Yes.
What that could be like.
Yeah.
You know, the silence, and then the cameras, boom, there's nowhere to go.
How did you work out the stand-up scenes? Did you have real audiences?
And there was never real audiences because you have to hit the quota of extras with SAG and all that. But we try to do it as authentic as possible, which was everybody that works at the Cellar, they're there in the movie. Everybody who agreed to do it. So all the waiters and everything, the staff, that's all people that work there. Liz, who's the manager, who plays the manager, she's the manager of the Cellar. So all those people are real. But then the patrons, I can't remember what the email was or what the ask was, but like people who like to go to stand-up comedy, who go regularly. And then once they were there, I never told them what was going to happen. I never directed them once. It was like whatever they're laughing at, that's it. And I don't do many takes, so you're getting an authentic reaction. Now it's hyped up because there's cameras there and it's a movie, but they're not told what to do.
It feels like that.
And even in the mix, like we never added anything. There was no added laugh, nothing.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's all, because I was like, it's just got to be real. Because I wanted Will to just, I just don't want him to act. Right. I just want him to, and that's why, Shane Gillis was kind enough. The first time he went up was here at the Mothership. Shane gave him 4 minutes of his set. And Will and I flew to Austin, and we were sitting in the green room. And Shane was like an hour and a half late, and Tony was there, and he was so nice. I'd never met Tony before, and that's where I smelled the thing. I did this.
Oh, the smelling sauce.
Yeah, dude, fuck me. That shit is no joke, dude.
Yeah.
And that was the first time Will ever went up, and we were just trying some of that material and went up as Alex Novak, because I was like, when do you have an opportunity as an actor to actually do the thing you're preparing to do? Like you can, and like think about how much that would cost. Like you can go into a room where there's real people,
right?
It's all, and then every step that you're taking, you're in a club. So he did that, and then when we went back to New York, he did it like 3 times a week. 4 or 5 times a night for like 6 weeks.
Wow.
Just so he could understand what it's like. And some people didn't know who he was. You get a lot of tourists come into New York City, and there were nights where you knew that when he said Alex Novak, they're like, cool.
Right.
Not like you're not Alex Novak.
Right.
They're like, okay, let's see what you got. And so that was really great.
Who wrote this film?
He wrote it with this guy Mark Chappell. It was a movie that was more about his based on this guy John Bishop, who's a real comedian, is a very successful comedian in the UK, and Will met that guy on a barge somewhere, and he was talking about his story, and he was like, yeah, I was doing something else. My wife and I were breaking up, and I walked into a pub one night. I didn't want to pay the cover. That really happened to this guy, so he put his name down, and then they called him. And then he was like, yeah, I'm getting a divorce, and got a couple chuckles, but he just loved it. Never done comedy, nothing before that. And he kept going back, and he like was obsessed by it. And then like weeks later, his estranged wife walked into a place he was doing an open mic at with her girlfriends, and he was doing a set about their relationship. So that actually happened.
Wow.
I know. And then they got back together, and they're still together. And then now he tours around the world. Like he makes a living as a comedian.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So when he was telling me that, I was doing another movie, and I remember I was like, what are you working on? Because we've been friends for like 25 years. And he was telling me that, and I was like, I just imagine Will, because I know him so well, and he's so charismatic and funny and just has this presence that is kind of lacking. I don't feel like there's like a male archetype now that fits him. He's like Robert Mitchum. He reminds me like a young Robert Mitchum, Will Arnett. And he's telling me that. I'm like, his voice and like that face, stand-up comedy. Like, I just couldn't get it out of my head, Joe. And I was like, hey man, like, can I read it? Like, how far along are you guys? And I read it and I was like, I didn't quite, because like you, I had never seen a movie that I thought nailed it. And I love stand-up comedy so much. I was like, and I have no desire to try to redo it. And also comedy is so massive right now, and the specials are so great and cinematic right now that there's no reason to try to make a fictional movie about something that we can watch as a documentary or a docuseries or a show that is authentic. I was like, but I still would really love to capture it cinematically. So what if it's a foil and the movie's about the two of them? Because that's interesting.
Yes.
And you suck.
Well, that was one of the great scenes where Jordan was like,
yeah,
you're
she's
bad.
like, you're bad, you're really bad. And it's much more about just what stand-up comedy, with anything, and you talk about this on your show, doing anything that puts you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Anything that pushes you, you're gonna improve as a human being. That was really what that whole thing is about. And I just love the culture in the world, and I thought there's so much tangible stuff there for me to get excited about cinematically and story-wise. But really, it's like it could have been anything.
Yeah.
Just something that he'd never done, he had puts himself out there, and that in doing it, he just sort of gets more comfortable, and then the mic comes off the stand, and then he's leaning against the wall. And by the end of it, and then the way it was structured, it allows him to do that vampire set at the end of the movie, where all he's doing is exercising what he's feeling emotionally because he's comfortable in this setting.
Yeah.
Because the old him, when he has that fight with her in the attic, he just would have kept that all inside.
Mm-hmm.
And he would have been catatonic at his kids' assembly where we meet him in the beginning of the movie. Because you just don't know what to do with all that. But if you have an outlet, something expressive,
yes,
you can exercise it in a healthy way.
Yeah.
So that really was the point of that whole part of it being stand-up comedy and open mic.
What you really nailed is someone trying it for the first time. You guys really nailed that. You really nailed a beginner in comedy. Like, it seemed completely realistic.
Great.
Yeah. And like, I think that's one of the reasons why Kill Tony is so popular.
Yes.
Because you get to see,
Yes.
like, you can't, that raw reality of someone who has never done stand-up before. Like, there was people that went up at Madison Square Garden in front of 16,000 people that had never done stand-up before.
Dude. No, that's
Don't do that.
Yes.
You should be in a fucking smoky room. Well, not smoky anymore, but a tiny fucking room where disinterested people, where everyone's bombing and you bomb too, and it's not that big a deal.
Right.
Because you might have some potential. But if you fucking bomb in front of 16,000 people, the pain of that, you may never recover.
Also, just think about the audio, like, because you're going to hear your voice through the, echoing. It can't be just I imagine there's an echo. So you're not only bombing, but you're hearing it reverberate.
You don't really feel the echo. You don't hear the echo because you have monitors on stage, so it's coming to you pretty flat.
Okay.
But the noise of your voice, where you've never heard your voice into a microphone before ever, and now you're in front of 16,000 people doing it. And then Tony's sitting there looking at you, and Shane's there, and I'm there.
It's like a nightmare. It's like you're walking into a nightmare.
Well, what? Just doing stand-up in front of like a guy like Shane Gillis is crazy. He's sitting right next to you. You've never done stand-up. You're going to do stand-up right next to a guy who's selling out arenas. Like, that's nuts.
Yeah.
That feeling is nuts.
But it's wonderful to watch because you're watching authentic reactions happening in real time.
Yes. Okay, if your New Year's resolution was change everything and be a new person, good luck. So instead of pretending you're going to meal prep kale forever or do morning cold plunges, here's one actually realistic thing, AG1. AG1 is a daily health drink that supports your energy, gut health, immune health, and helps fill common nutrient gaps. Just one scoop in cold water each morning and you're off. It's got over 75 vitamins, minerals, probiotics, and whole food ingredients in there. So instead of guessing whether you need a probiotic or a prebiotic or sorting through 10 different bottles of pills and powders, you can just do one scoop and get on with your day. It's great because it feels like the grown-up move, but for once, it's actually really easy. It takes like 30 seconds, and you'll notice the steadiness that sets you up for the day. Not wired, not crashing, just functional human being energy. I've partnered with AG1 for years, and if you want to give it a try, head to drinkag1.com/Joe Rogan, and for a limited time, you'll get a free AG1 duffel bag and free AG1 welcome kit with your first AG1 subscription order. Only while supplies last. That's drinkag1.com/Joe Rogan or visit the link in the description to get started. It's not processed. It's
Right.
as clean a mental
Yes.
food as you're gonna get.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. It's just that I think human beings really love seeing what it's like when someone starts out doing something. Because a lot of people have these ideas like, maybe I could try that. Or maybe I could learn how to play guitar. Or maybe I could do that. But it's just the getting going and sucking at something in the beginning is terrifying for people. So when they see someone just try it, I think they're like, oh, look at him go. Look at him go. He's out there doing it. Right. He's on the bike. He's moving. It's like you see actual people that are trying to do something that they've never done before, and it's exciting.
And also, the one thing I wanted to touch on is the craft of it all. That it takes a lot of work. I know that it's not, the writing. She says that at one point, she's like, you gotta write, and keep going up. And I think most people, at least I didn't know before I started going, that people go up 3 or 4 times a night. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't understand. And so that was something I thought it was important to convey. Just the work ethic that's needed.
Well, New York is really great for that, and it's always had a culture of that. It's had a culture of guys hopping from club to club and doing set to set because there's so many clubs in Manhattan. So guys would just, I think the most I ever heard one guy did 8 or 9 sets a night. Wow. Like they're just like that's how many clubs there are. So you just hop all over the place. You start your night at like 8 p.m.
Yeah,
you finish at
downtown.
2
There's a ton downtown that you can go uptown. Yeah,
you go all over the place. It's we've got a lot of that here now because there's so many clubs in Austin now.
I mean, when we went there, what you built is incredible.
Thank you.
The culture,
it's
everything.
Fun.
I showed the movie to a stand-up who hadn't done stand-up in like 15 years, and he said the only thing that for sure you got wrong is the culture. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, no, people aren't that nice. And I was like, actually, I think you're wrong. I was like, it's changed. I was like, people are supportive now.
It's in where you go. There's places where it's not very supportive.
Really? But at least like I used to go to the Cellar like in early 2000s. Didn't feel like it does now.
Right. Well, I think Ari Shaffir changed that a lot. He brought like the culture of LA to New York where you're like more supportive of each other. It was always like dog against dog because the way it all started out was in the 1990s. It was all about everyone was auditioning for a sitcom. And if you and I were, if I showed up to audition for a sitcom, I'm like, oh, fuck, Bradley's here. He's going for the same part. Fuck that guy. It was because it was like, that could change your life. Right. If you got that sitcom, now all of a sudden you're fucking huge and I'm still like struggling to pay my rent eating ramen and it could have been me.
Right.
And so there's this like serious resentment that happens in the 1990s because everybody, like the golden carrot at the end of the stick was the Tonight Show or, hosting if you could get your own late night show. Oh my God, he made it. He's a host of the Tonight Show. That was like the thing that only one person could get. And then there was like the sitcom. Like if it really worked out, they'd make a sitcom around you and you'd get a development deal. So people would psychologically backstab people. People would talk shit to people before they went on stage. Wow. They would try to hijack their fucking mind right before they it was dark.
Crazy.
And then the internet came around. And then the internet, instead of people being your competitors, they became not just your friends and not just your colleagues, but also an asset. Because if you're doing a podcast and you've got your funny friends on, then your podcast is better.
Right.
And then if you tell people about their podcast, then their podcast is better. And then you go on their podcast and that's better. And everybody benefits from everybody else doing well. So it completely reversed the system. And then it became much more about being supportive of each other. And then everybody kind of realized like, hey, it's way more fun when we're all having fun, And since the television thing kind of died off. The sitcom thing kind of died off with reality shows. And then it was really just more about getting clips up on the internet and then there was Netflix specials. So it wasn't just everybody trying to get an HBO special. There was way more specials. And then you could just upload specials to YouTube and it became this way more collaborative, supportive environment. And then Ari Shafir took that we had kind of like established in LA and brought that to New York, and a lot of those guys ran with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to go. People always say, there's a lot of room at the top.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of room in stand-up for sure.
And it's like, and everybody has their own lane, even within this big highway. And everybody wants to be with other people. Who wants to be a lone wolf, really, for a long period of time?
Yeah. There's a few out there, but they're all psychologically destroyed. They're just a mess.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to have friends? It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But, it's that aspect of the culture I felt like in the movie you guys nailed, which is a realistic aspect.
Good.
A realistic portrayal of what it's like, where a bunch of people they were all busting each other's balls.
Yeah,
and
oh yeah,
having
exactly.
fun.
Yeah, you could be supportive and still honest.
Yeah.
That was the thing. There's no
Yeah.
lack of honesty or
Yes.
criticism. It's just, it's not done with the hope that for your demise.
Yes.
That's the difference.
Yeah, I think the 90s poisoned a lot of comedians. It poisoned them because it gave you this idea that the whole thing was about a means to an end, and that end was a sitcom. And everybody thought you just had to get a sitcom, got to get a sitcom. And that was what everybody was working towards. There's people that were developing their entire act based around a persona that they could sell to the networks.
Were you doing stand-up before your sitcom?
Yes.
I see. Okay, so is that how that happened? Did someone see you and then they were like, "Oh, you gotta try this show"?
Yeah, I got ridiculously lucky. A lot of people say, "Oh, I work really hard to get on a sitcom." Nope. No, I got lucky. I did the MTV. I never had any aspirations to act at all. I did MTV half-hour comedy hour. I got a development deal, and all of a sudden, I'm living in LA, and I'm on a sitcom. And it happened in a couple of months.
And a great sitcom.
I was on a bad one first. I was on a bad one called Hardball. It was a sitcom on Fox where I played a baseball player. That show got canceled, and unfortunately, I thought it was going to go because I was retarded. I was, 25 years old, 26 years old. And I was like, oh, this is going to take off. I should get an apartment. So I had a lease on an apartment, and I
By the
wanted
way,
to
everybody,
move.
I'm sure people were telling you that it was going to take off, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody believed it.
Yeah, you're going to win an Emmy.
Well, the guys who made it, Jeff Martin and Kevin Curran, they worked on The Simpsons. They worked on Married with Children. They were really good.
Wow.
But then the Fox people came in and just ruined it. The executives came in, and they brought in a bunch of hacks and just ruined the show.
Did you have fun doing it?
Oh, yeah. I had a kind of good time. But I also missed comedy, and I missed New York people, and I wanted to get out of there. I was like, I got to get back to New York. Fuck this place. As soon as it was over, but I was like, fuck, I got this lease. So I had a lease for a year, and then I got a development deal.
So how long were you in LA at that time?
Oh, I was only in LA for a few months.
Wow.
Yeah. So I moved out there to do the show.
Right.
I got a lease almost immediately, and then I was out there for a few months. Show got canceled. And then I got a development deal to do something for NBC, and they were going to do my own sitcom. But as we were developing it, they said, "Hey, there's a show that we're doing. It's called News Radio. It's already been picked up. We already did the pilot, but we fired one person from the pilot, and we want you to read for this." And that's how I got on News Radio. That's how it happened. That was only the second show I ever auditioned for ever. Wow. So I had one show
that is
went on air and got canceled.
You had a very unique track.
Dumb luck.
That's nuts.
Stumbled into it, 100%. I can't take any credit for it. Dumb luck.
That's amazing.
Just my ability to keep it together in auditions and not crack with no acting experience at all. But it was just it wasn't something that I aspired to, so it didn't have the kind of pressure that it probably had for a lot of people.
And it probably didn't have the same kind of elation, too.
Right.
I assume if it was not something you really wanted, it was it was fun, but you weren't like, this feels right.
No, what it felt like is, ooh, I'm going to get money. I'm going to get some money.
Yeah, then something's
That's
wrong.
That's what it
Yeah.
was like.
Something's wrong.
I was like, this is good. I'm going to get money, and I don't have to worry about money. That's how I thought about it.
Right.
And then when I was doing it, I was like, wow, I'm so lucky. How did I stumble on? I'm here with Phil Hartman. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Dave Foley and Stephen Root,
crazy.
Maura Tierney. This is nuts.
Yeah.
It was a
and
crazy
Sorkin
cast.
wrote it, right?
No, it was Paul Sims.
Paul Sims, right.
Yeah, who had just left Larry Sanders Show.
Right.
So he left
Oh
Larry
my
Sanders.
gosh.
Yeah, it was crazy luck. Just stupid, dumb luck.
That's right. Sorkin did that other show with Jeff Daniels, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But back in those days, everybody was working towards that. And fortunately, I already had that. So my thing was just like continue to work on stand-up and just work on my stand-up. And if this all goes away, I'll just go back to being a comic.
And doing stand-up in L.A.
Yes.
Right. So
Yeah.
and so that was new.
Yeah, and that's where I encountered like the worst backstabbing I've ever seen in my life.
So
like,
you're coming from New York where you didn't feel that.
You didn't feel it as much.
Right.
You know, you felt like a lot of shit talking, but that was fun. You know, the guys would make fun if you bombed.
Right. They were doing it to your face.
Yeah. They were doing it to your face, and it was a more like it was just a more ball busting, like silly environment in New York. It wasn't. No one thought they were going to get famous in New York. You know, they were all just doing sets.
Yeah.
But in LA, everybody had this idea to get a sitcom. And then in the 1990s, they started giving out development deals. That was the big thing. You get like a $200,000, $500,000 development deal. And then all of a sudden, you have all this money and you're living it. And so everybody was working towards that. So it became, instead of like people working towards just being a stand-up, it became stand-up was a means to an end. And then all these other people, they were in your way to get that goal.
Jesus.
And then your agent was telling you that's what you had to do, and because they wanted that money too. So it was all like programming people to go after the sitcom.
So completely different culture in the stand-up community there.
Exactly. But then that all went away. It all went away. Like the idea of working towards a sitcom is not. It's like working towards a career in ham radio. Like it's fucking went away.
Well, you say that Ari changed it. How did he do it?
Because he brought the L.A. culture to New York. Ari moved from L.A. back to New York, and everybody that I talked to in New York is always like, "You guys are doing it wrong." Like,
and people listen to him.
Yeah, well, because he was established and he was a really good comic, and they were like,
"Okay,
I think he's right."
Wow.
And they would come to L.A. Like a lot of guys, like Andrew Schultz and a lot of these other guys, they would come to L.A. and they're like, "Bro, everybody's so fucking nice here, and they're all just having a great time. Like, why aren't we doing that? Why aren't we just having a great time?" And so it shifted. It's just, it was the culture of the internet. The internet changed everything because there was no longer this one thing that 100 guys were trying to audition for. Now it was anybody could just put up something online. And then all your friends became assets. They all became like valuable to you instead of competitors.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you go up in these cities ever now?
I do. If I'm in LA, I'll still do sets in LA. I haven't been in a while, but most of the time I'm at my own club.
Right.
It makes it also I have teenage kids and I want to be home.
Did you do the Cellar?
Yeah, I did the Cellar back in the day, but more I did the Stand, I did Catch when it was there.
Right.
I did I always did Dangerfields. Dangerfields was great because it was like a hole in the wall. There was hardly anybody there.
Is that where he shot his special?
Yes. Wow. Yeah. It was big in the 80s, and then something happened, and by the time I got there in the 90s, it was like fucking dead.
Wow.
One time I went there, and I had a spot at like 8:30, and I don't remember what time the show started, but there was a few people on before me, and I got there, and the people that were on before me were sitting at the bar. I go, "What's going on?" They're like, "There's no crowd." I'm like, "There's no crowd? There's nobody?" And so then this couple walked up, and they bought tickets for the comedy show. And this guy, Bobby, who was the doorman, like, "Step right up." He was a Scottish guy. "Come on in. I'll have you seated." He seats them down. There's no one there, just them. They sit down. "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dangerfields, your first act." And we all did stand-up for 2 fucking people. Wow. Yeah. The whole night was 2 people. And they had a great time.
I'm sure.
But it was weird. It's like when you're doing stand-up for just 2 people.
You're only looking at 2 people.
But you also realize how much of your act is bullshit. How much of your act is like fucking dance moves. It's just nonsense. Like English on the cue ball. It's like you're doing a lot of silly things that like don't even and you're not connecting with real humans.
Right.
And when there's 2 people there, it like cuts the fat out of all of your shit. And you recognize where the flaws in your writing are and the flaws in your delivery. But Dangerfields was a wild little place. It was like a classic comedy club that didn't have no industry went there, no agents, no managers went there.
Always.
Yeah, it was just like a bunch of weird degenerates, and it was fun.
Wow.
That was a fun place. So I did that club a lot, but I did the road a lot.
Yeah.
Because that was how I could make money, and I could headline, like I do an hour. Because if you're in the city, you're doing 15-minute sets or 10-minute sets. Like That's great, but it's hard to piece together an hour at a 10-minute sets because you kind of want to let the material breathe and put it all together
Yeah, of
and
course.
compose it
Yeah.
into one big thing. And you really can work on that a lot more if you're actually headlining.
Do you watch a lot of specials, comedy specials nowadays?
I don't. I watch a lot of comics, like when I see them at
Live,
the club.
right?
Yeah.
But not like.
No,
know.
I probably should. I probably should watch more of them. But really, comedy is it's like an artistic form of hypnosis. And the real way to see comedy is to be there live. Because
Right.
you're like, and you know when the person's locked in and you know when they're not. You feel it. They got you. Like they're thinking for you. Like
Yeah.
if I'm watching Attell and he's at like the mothership and he's killing, like we're all like this. We're like locked into his brain and we're letting him like take us on a ride.
Yeah, of
'Cause
course.
it's like a kind of a form of hypnosis.
Yes.
And I really think that a stand-up special, as good as they are, you're maybe getting 60 to 70% of the experience of actually being there.
That's why I enjoy watching them to see how different people make them. Because there's all different types.
Yeah.
You know, some are heavily edited, which always brings me out. If there's a way to keep it so you feel like you're in the room.
Right.
You know, I remember it was a Mr. Tambourine Man or the Chris Rock special where when he changed the tone of it and he started talking about jerking off to porn and how he became addicted to porn. And it was that great filmmaker who's a comedian who does music. He did that thing during COVID when he was in his house. Bo Burnham. I think he directed it.
Oh,
and the camera
really?
just keeps going on. By the time you don't even realize it because you're hypnotized, you're right here on Chris Rock. And I think probably subconsciously, just thinking about it now, that's probably one of the things because that's kind of the frame I use the whole time on Alex, on Will.
Yeah.
But I remember watching that going like, when the fuck did this become a close-up? You know, but that's what it was happening. So there was a
Right.
synergy between the camera and what he was doing in the place, or at least made me
Right.
feel like cinematically I was there, and this is what he was doing, hypnotizing me.
Right, and then the opposite of that was the special that Chris Rock did where he changed clothes. So he was doing a special where he filmed part of it in one place and another part of it in another place, and he spliced the two of them together with different outfits. So you would have him begin a bit with one outfit on and then end the bit with a different
Right,
outfit
so
on.
you're- yeah.
And you're like, what are you,
Yeah.
whose idea was this?
Yeah, because the minute you cut and
Right.
edit in any way, you know, even podcasts audio-wise, that's the thing I've learned. You know, some people, you know, they edit the audio of a podcast, and you're like, that's not. Someone didn't take a breath before they answered.
Oh, like cutting out
Yes,
in between.
it's a whole other rhythm.
Right. Well, that's the YouTube thing, right? YouTube for a long time was doing these things where they would cut out all the pauses in between people talking thing, and it became like a style of editing,
Right.
Where it's like shocking. But
For
the
my
idea is-
ears, like it's impossible for me to get in. then.
Right.
It's just impossible.
well, it's the short attention span concept,
Right.
You're just saying people are so fucking stupid. You can't give them any breaks. You can't give them any breath. You got to keep talking, and then you know,
Yeah.
and it's like it's
After a while, it's
exhausting.
just like this wash, and yeah.
They're just trying to keep you engaged as much as possible by editing instead of by having actually interesting content.
compelling content.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's an interesting exercise. Yeah, I enjoy watching. Like I think Josh Safdie did Sandler's one, and he did all this backstage, and he walked up, and then he was in many locations, but he was playing music a lot. Yeah, I just like watching everybody's different, you know, sort of exploration of different stand-up shows because it's such a huge, viable market. So people, you know, it's fun to watch how they do it. I think that's probably why, because I watched so many of them, I wanted to do it in a way in a movie.
Have you done stand up at all?
Never did it.
Never?
No.
Have you thought about it? When you
No.
were doing the film, did you think about doing it?
No.
No?
Yeah, and I don't know why, Joe. Yeah, but no, it's not like one of those things that I feel compelled to do. But would it be fun? Would I be scared? All those things. Will I try an open mic one night? Yeah, I probably should. But it's not. I didn't feel compelled to do it. No.
The problem would be if you did it and it went okay, but you're like, I think I could do better,
And then
and then you're gone.
you know me.
I know everybody. It's kind of the same thing with all of us.
Yeah, of course, dude.
There's always a part of you
Yeah.
like, I think I can do better.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, like, I got to leave. I got to go do a set. Like,
Right.
what the fuck
Wait,
are you
what's going
doing?
on?
Like, this
Dad, I haven't eaten dinner. No.
It's like all artistic pursuits. They can become an obsession, and they become an addiction, and they become a part of you. And then
Yeah.
it's like your brain naturally goes towards that pathway of thinking about that thing all day.
Yeah, which I love.
Oh, it's great if
Yeah.
it's a fun thing.
I remember being 11 and watching The Elephant Man and knowing at that moment. You okay?
Yeah, I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Just gotta take this.
Knowing at that moment that like, oh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
When you saw The Elephant Man?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I remember.
Why was it that movie?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've thought about it a lot, obviously. First, David Lynch directed it. I remember the scene, Anthony Hopkins. I loved film, so I always loved film. My dad loved film. But it wasn't like a conscious thing where I was like, this is it. And I remember, in my living room, it's on the TV. I saw all the movies on the TV. I never saw Apocalypse Now in the movie theater or Godfather or anything,
Right.
Loneliness the Longest Runner, or, none of it. It was all on the television. And but I was watching The Elephant Man. It was on HBO. It came through Philadelphia where I live, Comcast, and they would show like it all the time. And it was Anthony Hopkins coming in, and he's seeing Joseph Merrick, the Elephant Man, for the first time. And the way David Lynch shot it, you only see his shadow, and then Hopkins starts crying. And I don't know, I was just like, I was there in that cellar with him, and I was like, I forgot I was in the living room. And then the whole movie was like that. And it came out, and I was like, I want that.
So was that like the first seed that was planted?
Yeah,
you
that was
think?
it. It
How
was
old
the
were you?
first and only. I was 11. It was like bam. It was like a shot.
There's a scene right here. So
Yeah,
this,
it's right. It's right. It's this. This is it.
Oh, look how young Anthony
Yeah, I
Hopkins
know,
looks.
Yeah, he was incredible.
Stand up.
Stand up!
Turn round.
Turn around! Turn around!
Wow. Wow. So that was it. Wow. What is it like watching that now? Like
Yeah.
thinking that planted a seed that
Yeah,
changed
I'm
your
like-
whole life.
I'm like, well, first I thought, wasn't it a shadow? But that was before. And then I'm like, oh yeah. And then then I was just in it. Then all of a sudden I was there. Then I was like, is Joe in it? Does he know what I'm talking about? And then and then as my brain started going, the movie kept bringing me in it.
Yeah.
And then by the end, by that push in, I was like, I'm just watching this guy look at this thing for the first time. And then, fuck, look at this beast, Anthony Hopkins.
I wonder what he was looking at when he was crying.
I know.
Because just be able to pull that out of your
Oh,
eyeballs.
dude. And I went to grad school, moved to New York, wrote him a letter because our dean said somehow he knew him, or the school I went to that I only got into because they let anybody in. They did that show inside the actor's studio.
Oh,
Do you remember that on TV on
yeah,
Bravo? Do you
I remember that
yeah.
show.
And so our thesis was the show. There was like there was a class but it was a class, like technically a class. And so all these incredible people would come on, and Anthony Hopkins was there, and I was there for that. And then I wrote him a letter just telling him, and I asked James Lipton, that was his name, the dean.
Yeah.
And then never, I never heard from him ever. And then, and now I know him, dude. Do you know what I'm saying?
How weird.
Bro, it's crazy.
It's so weird, right? I never get over that.
Me
like,
neither.
Meeting
Ever.
ever.
And there's some guys, I don't know if you feel this way too, but like there's some guys, like then they become your friends, but still, I still feel a little bit of like extra energy when I'm around them. Like
Oh, yeah.
it'll never go away.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy.
For me, one of the big ones was Tarantino. Like hanging out with Tarantino.
Yeah, that
was-
would be nuts.
It's so odd going to dinner with him.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hanging out with him here, him coming to the club. He come hang out in the green room.
That's nuts.
It's just weird. It's like that's Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, and it never goes away. As close as you get, and even when your brain's off, right? Because that's always the litmus. Is my brain off when I'm with the person?
Right.
That's like when, like, okay.
Right.
And even like Clint Eastwood, who I did American Sniper with, I mean, it was always Clint Eastwood. And I got to a point where my brain was off, but still I'm just like, what if my dad was alive? If my dad was alive, he would flip the fuck out.
What was it like doing that scene with the fake baby?
Oh,
Was that
bro,
weird?
It's so funny. I was just talking about that 2 days ago, dude. And I've come full circle.
Yeah?
I actually think it's dope.
Really?
I think it's fucking
Why?
dope. Because it's so just like, wow, look at these people fully invested, and it's a doll. And
Well,
he
there's
is-
like a scene where you're like kind of like moving the hand a little bit with your
I could
finger.
I could tell you the whole thing, dude. So we had 3 sets of twins, and Clint likes to shoot fast, which I loved and love. And they were crying and they weren't ready, and he was like, "You know what? Let's just let's put the doll in." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "All right." And I have the doll, and I remember, and I made a joke on set, and I was like, "I just saved you $35,000 because I moved his hand with my thumb."
Yeah.
Like I saved visual effects like $50,000, like made a joke about it. And then we got to post, and we were in Vancouver doing the meeting, but everybody defers to the boss. I still remember being in a room, and I'm like a theater we're watching, and they're like, "Okay, Clint, so we did this, and the tank has dirt on it, and whatever visual effects they had done." We get to the baby. They're like, "Okay, Clint, this is this scene," and it ends, and I'm literally behind Clint. I just see the back of his head, and I'm waiting for everybody to raise their hand. Like, we got to spend more money and make the kid real. And I think the kid had like 2 fingers too. Like they weren't even. It was like an yeah. That's
Here it is.
Yeah, that's it. That's me. I'm doing that. That's it. But dude, it's kind of dope. I love it now. I've come full circle. So and I raised my hand, and I was like, "Clint, I just think that it's clear, that that's not a baby. And could we at least just find out what the cost would be?" And no one said anything. And then I remember he was like, "Nah, I think we move on."
Wow.
And that was it, dude. And that was it. And I was like, okay. And I remember talking to the other producer. I was like, "This is going to come back." I was like, "Bro, this is going to come back to haunt us." And I remember he said, "No, Bradley, you're too close to the movie." I was like, "I don't think so, dude."
No, everybody's like, "Look, he's moving his thumb. This is crazy. That's a rubber baby."
Crazy, dude. Then there's another one, too. And like, yeah, it's crazy.
What is it like doing a film like that where you're playing an actual human being? Is that different than a written character that has no physical body that you can kind of become who you think the words represent?
Yeah.
But when you're playing a guy like Chris Kyle, like you're playing a human.
Yeah.
And you're trying to figure out a way to make it as realistic as possible, but you're acting like, what is that like?
I mean, the thing that just popped in my head is the pressure is it's like night and day, because there are people that you have to serve, especially with Chris Kyle. We started making that movie. He was alive. He got killed while he was still negotiating with Warner Bros. I think we just closed his deal. And then he was murdered on February 2nd, I believe. And it was just like, whoa. And in fact, we were like, now we really got to make this movie. And then Clint and I flew to Midlothian, Texas, and met with his family and his widow and his parents, and then the kids. And I did The Elephant Man. I did it as a play in my thesis in grad school, and then I did it at Williamstown, and then I actually did it in New York and London. So, even though it's a long time ago, that was the first time I felt that responsibility, because I actually loved that guy, Joseph Merrick, and I felt that responsibility to him. So I had done something like that before, but this was the next time. It was massive, Joe. But I think that it's like you're always looking for what's the fuel that's going to allow me to work as hard as I can. And the fuel when you're playing a real person is like there's like 4 extra canisters or like vats of firepower for you to work hard. Because you just, you're looking across at the eyes of somebody and say, "I'm going to serve your son or your husband or your father." It's a major responsibility.
Maybe even more major because he's deceased.
Yeah. It was mind blowing, but it terrified me. And also, like, I'm 185 pounds at that point from Northeast Philadelphia. This guy's from Midlothian, Texas, SEAL Team 3. It's like how, and the way Clint works, the way we did work. Kevin Lace, who was a SEAL Team 3 with Chris, was in the movie, played Dauber. Jacob Schick was one tribe, which is what I'm wearing. He was a Marine. Did you ever see American Sniper?
Yes.
Yeah, there's that scene where he goes to the hospital and there's all the guys that have been wounded. Jacob Schick is one of them. You know, so there's real guys. It's all real. So I step in. You know, I've got to. I'm going to die unless I believe I'm Chris.
Right.
So I have to do whatever I can so that I believe I'm Chris. If I believe I'm Chris, then I have a shot at everybody else potentially going along with this illusion. I have to be absolutely fearless when I walked on set. So it just made me work so hard that I'd never worked hard. That if it's a created character, you know, it's different, but it comes with a different set of challenges. You know, it just depends on what it is. But I do know, and then with Leonard Bernstein, I did the same thing. Huge responsibility, like massive, that I felt.
Right.
To his kids.
Right.
To people that loved him. But mainly his kids. All three. His son has passed away since it. But his three kids are like, okay, you know, they're like handing you. You know, it's like if someone went to your daughter in 12 years and said, "Here's this movie about your father." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And this guy's sitting across and be like, okay, I'm going to play your father. That's just a whole other thing. Because the truth is, like, if it's good, it's going to last a long time, and it's going to be a thing that marks their journey.
Right.
So I'm a part of whatever little part of Chris's journey. So you give somebody the faith that whoever has the power to give to that artist is just, you know. So it just made me work, you know, like you just don't stop working till you get to the point where you believe you're him, or you believe that he's a part of you. Something's working.
Did you meet Chris Kyle?
Never. Just talked to him on the phone once.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what did you train?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what did you do to try to, like...
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, right? It's like, well, I couldn't do anything that would ever achieve what he achieved, but it's like, what can I do to look like a master? Right, so there's three weapons: the .338 Lapua, the 50 cal, the rifle. It's like, what can I do? How much time do I have? I think I had like 6 months. Also, luckily, we're the same shoe size, same age. He has a hole in his ear. I do. You find things that, like, you know, same height. I was like, oh, this is great. And then I just like, but he's 238 pounds. So the first thing was 6,000 calories a day. Found a trainer. And
6,000?
Yeah, 6,000 calories a day.
How did you force 6,000?
First I did it with real food, and that was a big mistake because I couldn't get up. I remember the first week I did it, had an incredible chef, and then I couldn't get up, like I couldn't move my stomach. So then I think we split like half of it into protein shakes, but it was still 6,000
When
calories.
you say you couldn't get up, like what do you mean?
My stomach wasn't able to process that much food. Yeah, whatever happened, I
was just getting blocked.
Getting blocked, like major pain, like I was giving birth or something. What I would imagine. So then we change it, and it would be like huge meal, shake, huge meal, shake. Worked out twice a day. I had 3 rest days, no cardio. It was all about strength training, like, and it was all focused around deadlifting.
Oh, okay.
And it was this guy Jason Walsh who I worked with, and I did that. Yeah, so it would be like Monday 5:30 a.m. and then a 4:30 p.m. or like 3:30, Monday, Tuesday, rest Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, rest Saturday, Sunday, and did that. And I got up to 238 pounds, and a lot of it was like, because I was thinking about him, his neck, and so I gained like, I would do all the neck stuff, and it was his shoulders. Like I just wanted so you could shoot over, and it's like, you know, which we did all the time in the movie, where the guy's just, you know, Chris.
Yeah. NFL playoffs, let's go. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, makes every moment feel bigger. A running back cuts through the line. A strip sack flips the field. A tight end hauls in the kind of touchdown grab you'll talk about for years. Postseason games shift fast, and with DraftKings live betting options, you can stay right in the moment. Plus, DraftKings has your back with early exit protection. If the player in your eligible NFL prop bet goes down at any point in the first half, you still get paid in cash. New customers bet just $5, and if the bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. DraftKings Sportsbook, every drive, every play, every moment. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the code Rogan. That's code Rogan to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
How much weight did you gain?
I went from 185 to 238.
Whoa.
Yeah, and all naturally, because cancer's in my family. I've had skin cancer, and like I'm terrified of anything. So I was like not going to do that. So,
You take creatine or anything?
I took creatine, yeah. Which, by the way, I just started again like 3 months ago.
Oh, it's amazing.
Dude. I'm on this push-up thread with a bunch of dads at my school, and we do 100 push-ups a day. And if we don't, you have to pay $10 into a pool. And then when we get to 800, we go to Chinatown and I'll have a meal with the money. And then I started taking creatine like 2.5 months ago. And we just upped it to 150. I was like, this is, because I could only do, and we like YouTube the perfect push-up, which I didn't know, which is like a whole other world. And then now it's, I mean, creatine's incredible.
It's incredible for your brain as well.
I know, I've heard you say that. Like, I can't tell that because I also take Zins all the time. So it's like, I don't know what's doing it.
Yeah, me too. I do the same thing.
Yeah, where was I on the Chris thing?
You were talking about gaining weight. And
Oh
how
yeah,
you did
oh
it.
yeah. So
You
then
got
I
up to
worked with this,
238?
and I worked with the guy who. So I was doing that in conjunction with learning about sniping, and working with Kevin Lace, this guy Dauber. We would go up to the Disney Ranch and work with like 600-yard head targets, prone, that I would just do all the time. And then once we cast the rest of the team, we did all this stuff. But really, Kevin Lace, this guy Dauber, was the guy because he was there. And he was there through the whole shooting just so everything would be real. And we just drilled it. We became a group. Like, we did the work. But it wasn't so much about like, I was like, I have this amount of time. Doing like SEAL boot camp will do nothing for me. Like,
Right.
like that'll just give me the brain of like how hard this is and will I be broken. I've done this, not that I couldn't have, not maybe I would have been broken, but I felt like I do understand that. Like I've been through certain things where like I understand what it's like to push myself to beyond my breaking point and what that looks like and feels like. What I don't know is when I'm looking at a target and I have to factor in the, the curve of the earth. Like that's the stuff I want to learn.
Yeah.
So that's where I focused was those 3 weapons, live rounds, gaining the weight. So I felt like I was.
Here we go. We're back.
That's like all of a sudden you're like, oh, you didn't take the drug? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not on it. And then so it was those 2 things in conjunction.
The curve of the earth is nuts. You have to think about that.
Dude, it's crazy.
Long distance shots.
And then
you have
the
to
fact that these
factor in
guys
the
stayed up
curve of the
24
earth.
hours would pee in there, never get up to pee, just pee right there, right in the room. I mean, I said no. And then, by the way, it's a human being. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
forget it. And then just working with this guy, Tim Monick, on like his voice. To me, it's all, the voice is everything. It's all about the voice and like where he's from. And Chris was interesting because his accent started to change, because once he got out and then he did that, he did a couple of shows, he wrote that book, which is how I came across and then gave it to Clint. So he had an interesting accent that kind of changed a little bit. But yeah, just the voice, just hitting the voice. I would work this guy 5 days a week. And I had tons of stuff. I had so much information that Taya, Kyle had been so generous to give me. So many home videos, correspondence. I used to work out to his, which I just did the other day. It's so funny we're talking about this. I literally just did it 2 days ago. Worked out to his playlist. I had both of his workout playlists.
Oh wow!
And I blew up 2 huge posters, and one was him just like this. And one with his gun. And I would do that and look at him every morning. It was just like this beautiful ritual that I felt like I was with him every day.
How long did you take to prepare?
I'd have to look back. I think I did it fast, but I think we had about 6 months or 5 months. But like, full on, that's it, nothing else. I didn't have a kid back then. It was like, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something very unique about someone doing a film about an actual person.
Yeah.
Like a great actor doing, like De Niro when he played Jake LaMotta in Raging Bull.
Of course.
Like that, that was one of the first, he became a different person.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to. There's like a merging of you and that whatever that idea or the soul, whatever of the person. It sounds so hokey. I get it. But if you ask me what my memory is of making a sniper, like memory, like in scenes, it's not that like I was acting. It's just that's not my memory.
What is the memory?
Of like, okay, now we're going to do this, and it's like me as him doing it.
Wow.
That's.
Was that a mind fuck when you stop, when like the movie
Well, the
wraps?
good thing is you do a Clint who takes the piss out of fucking everything.
Oh, does he?
So we would go to dinner at night, and I learned from Christian Bale in American Hustle, like he just stayed in, because I didn't understand this, stay in the character all the time. You hear these stories, but you don't know what the real is. Like, how does that work? You see a cell phone, do you like lose your mind? Like, how do you, what is it? How do you do it? And Bale, it's like, oh, I overthought it. Bale would just stay, played this character that's from New York in American Hustle. And I'd go in there, the first day I met him, he was his accent, and the rest of the movie, even like on weekends, it was him, Christian, and we would talk about stuff and his kid, but he would just speak in that voice. And I was like, oh, it's that simple. Like, it's not some big thing. Like, once you get the voice.
That is weird, though.
But I took it, and it's wonderful. Because then you feel like you're not acting and you're in the voice. And I do it all, like, so I would be in that voice of Chris for the whole movie, and then we would go to, like, a restaurant when we were, like, up in Lancaster shooting or something, and Clint would then make fun of me in my accent as Chris and order a steak, and it was just, it was great, yeah.
He's fucking sabotaging your performance. He's making you self-conscious. That's crazy.
It was awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I always wondered what it's like to be around someone who's like method.
But I don't know. I wouldn't. Method is also a term that
What does it mean?
Well, the method. Well, what happened? It started in Russia, right? And then that book on acting that I should know. What's his name? He came, and then the group theater started, and it was like, and all these people then disbanded. And there's Harry Meisner, and there's. Yeah, Stanislavski, exactly. And there was this other guy, Vakhtangov, that also talked about that every rehearsal. It's very interesting, and I read all this in grad school. And then the group theater came in, and then Elia Kazan was a huge part of it becoming popular because you had this guy that was sweeping floors at the Actors Studio and then started directing plays, and then all of a sudden he's a huge movie director, and he's putting Marlon Brando, who's part of the Actors Studio, starring in his movies. And he's doing, and so it all just sort of erupted. But then it branched out. And so there's people that are dogmatic about it's only using you're substituting. So if I'm doing a scene with you, like you aren't you, you're my brother, Right. But it's evolved into, it's like what works for you. To me, it's like you use your own experience plus your imagination. But that's the sort of a very layman's 50-second telling of what the origin of the method is. But I went to the Actors Studio, which is based in the method. That's where I went to grad school.
Is it easier?
And it's very valuable because I didn't know shit before that. I did a couple of plays at Georgetown. I didn't know anything. I just loved acting, but I didn't do anything about it. I was terrified as a kid. Like, we did this thing in high school where we had to, as seniors, we would put on our show where we would make fun of our teachers. And I could do my Latin teacher, Mr. Burke. I was like, and I actually sang in it. We sang, and I was like, but I was terrified, Joe, for the whole year. Sleepless nights for a year leading up to it. That's how scared I was in public. I remember doing like a 5th grade presentation with the poster boards about Locke and Hobbes, and the poster shaking so hard because I was so nervous. I was like, how am I gonna? What's this fear thing?
Isn't that weird?
I know. But then in college, I did a couple of plays, but I still didn't know what I was doing. But I loved it. And I was like little stuff. I was like Aslan, the server in Dangerous Liaisons. But I still remember, like, I closed the door in a rhythmic way, and people laughed. And I remember I was like, ooh, oh, this feels good. and then so I applied to grad school there. And then all of a sudden, there was like, I got a huge foundation of like what I could do, that your insecurities are actually your attributes, your fears are stuff that, all this thing that you're a sensitive kid. This is all good stuff. And I never felt that way before about any of that. And I had this teacher, Elizabeth Kemp, who was incredible, who then passed away in my house years later. She got sick. Yeah, it's crazy.
Passed away in your house?
Yeah, in Venice, California. Yeah, she was sick, so we put her hospice there. But she was incredible. And she did this basic technique class. And it was the first time ever. Because I didn't, grow up therapy and none of that was even, in the vicinity of talking about your feelings. I loved my dad, but I grew up in, the 80s and Northeast Philadelphia with an Irish Italian upbringing. That wasn't part of the deal. And then all of a sudden I'm in grad school with other guys and women, and we're like laying down, and she wants us to go through an experience of loss and betrayal when we were children. And it's like, what the fuck? And actually I could take all that stuff I've been ashamed of, and I could use it and bring it into art. I don't know, it really clicked with me in a huge way. So, and I use it even to this day. All the movies I do, I always get the actors together and do like a workshop for a week that's based on dreams that she also taught me. And I just find it invaluable. Any way you can how can I just get to a place where we're just talking to each other and I don't, and then all this stuff I feel it's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
When you're doing a guy like Chris, it must also be kind of easier to keep the accent than to try to reestablish it right
Joe,
before every scene.
You just said it. It's a logical thing.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a logical thing. The idea of me talking with an accent, or even thinking that it's an accent, because you don't think about it anymore. The whole point is I'm not doing an act. If I'm doing a scene with you and I'm thinking about how I'm talking, it's over. It's a wrap.
Right.
It's not real.
Right.
But if I'm just talking to you, and it happens to be the voices I've been working on for however long time, then we're in it. We got a shot.
Yeah.
And if I'm stopping it, there's no way I'm not thinking about. So
Yeah.
yes, Joe, that is the reason.
You know what's a really underappreciated talent is voice actors who do audiobooks. I was watching a video of this guy because I never knew how they did it, and I kind of assumed that whenever they had to change accents, they probably had a pause where they were blah, 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 but there's a video of a guy doing the voiceover for Lord of the Rings audiobook, and he goes into Smeagol, he goes into the Gollum character while he's doing narration. There's no break. He just smoothly transitions into Smeagol.
It's great.
It's fucking incredible.
You know,
Like,
it's nuts.
It is absolutely masterful and completely underappreciated.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Because if you watch this guy do it, I don't know the gentleman's name who's the voiceover actor, but I love audiobooks. That guy. Listen to this guy.
Oh, it's Andy Serkis.
Smeagol was holding a debate with some other thought that used the same voice but made it squeak and hiss. A pale light and a green light alternated in his eyes as he spoke.
Smeagol promised.
Said the first thought.
Yes, my precious.
Came the answer.
Amazing. Fucking amazing. Like that. What a master.
Have it.
And you're talking about a master actor.
Yes.
Yeah, because he's been in a lot of movies. He directed that great movie that was like Jungle Book, a version of Jungle Book that Christian Bale actually played the Panther, I believe. He's incredible. And I got to meet him. He's like, this guy's like a one-off generational talent. Yeah, he's insane.
You have to be be that good at voiceover acting.
Yeah, and he's
You
just
have
a
to be
great actor.
Yeah, you have to be.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree. And my mother watches this. She'll kill me that I'm saying. My mother watches. First of all, she loves Turkish soap operas, so she watches everything.
Turkish soap operas?
Oh yeah.
Why them specifically?
I don't know. She graduated from Hallmark into Turkish soap operas. And
Hallmark Channel.
And then she's evolved even further. She just watches a screen where there's two people, AI images, and it's just a person telling a story. And I'll come down making breakfast because when she stays with me in New York, she has the room down there, and I'll be like making my daughter breakfast, and I could hear it, or I'll go to the bathroom, which is right next to her, and I was like, wow, these guys, these voices. I mean, 'cause the guy's carrying it on. It's just an image, and she'll watch it for hours. And I'm like, what's gonna happen? Is he gonna make that? Is the firm gonna hire him? Did she see the note? It's amazing. I was like, yeah, it's really an art form.
Turkish.
Yeah. I remember the first time I came down, I was like, oh no, what happened? Because I'm just hearing, I'm like, what happened? And I walk in and I'm like, Mom, what are you watching? She's like, oh no, this guy's the best actor in the world. This guy. And so she just reads the subtitles. She did it for she's watched, it's called, if you look up, he's what's it called? Circle, is it dove, bird, something? How could I forget it? Oh, baby.
Is that it?
Early Bird.
Early Bird?
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
explain this?
So it's a soap opera. There's like 360 episodes. She's watched them all like probably 4 times. And she'll come in. She'll like do a marathon session, come in to make some food. She's like, this guy, just the way he moves. This guy's the best actor. Yeah, that's him. That's him. Yeah. That's him.
Is it speaking in Turkish?
Oh, yeah,
Let me
yeah,
hear
yeah,
this.
yeah. Oh,
Let me
yeah.
hear some of this.
This looks like, yeah, that's it. Yeah, there he
Hadi
is.
sen yukarı. Ben iyiyim. Hem Emre de yanım.
Yeah, there he is.
Ayrıca yukarıdan çok yakışıklı.
And so she
görünüyor.
likes this,
Güzel var.
and she does the voiceover. She reads the.
No, so that was the middle stage. Now she's graduated to, it's different now where she just watches 2 AI images and it's a story. But she did this for a good like 8 years.
But why
all
was
through
she
COVID.
Why was she into this?
I don't know. She must have come across it one day on somewhere, and then that was it.
She just got hooked.
Oh, I mean, hooked isn't even the word. Yeah. By the way, it's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
You watch it?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's great, and the woman in it is great too. Yeah.
Do you consume a lot of films? Do you watch?
I
lot
watch
of
a lot of
acting?
everything.
Yeah.
I love television, films, and then like 8 months ago, I know I'm late to the game. Came across podcasts. Yes.
Only 8 months ago.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
That's interesting.
Isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
What made you get into that?
I can't remember, but it was your podcast, and I'm trying to think what it was. And then it was like, oh, and then I came, and then once you watch something on your phone, it like suggests other things, and then you had 2 guys on that I thought were really interesting, and then they do a trigonometry.
Yeah, trigonometry.
And then
yeah.
I find that very fascinating.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah, great. And so that's how it just started. So now it's like a huge part of, like, I have this whole little thing, like often I'll go to bed and my daughter's listening to your voice, but I do put on headphones sometimes because I love, like, just at the end of the day, listening or watching. I'll put it on the side table. Yeah, podcasts are incredible, and it's very soothing, very soothing.
That's interesting. I hardly ever listen to them anymore.
I love TV. I
I
love it. Yeah, I take in a lot of content.
Have you watched The Beast in Me on Netflix?
I
Claire
did.
Danes?
Oh, dude.
Holy shit, dude.
Dude. And that guy, Kerry Russell's husband, Matthew Reese, dude.
The bad guy.
Yeah. He's
How fucking good is that guy?
So I did a movie with him years ago called Burnt about a chef. And we had never met, and there's a scene where my character, he was trying to get sober, and he went off the wagon, and he goes into this guy, their old nemesis. They were nemesis with each other. His restaurant after hours, and it was like a pretty dark scene that we never met. Me and this guy, this actor, right before we shot, and I come in, and then I don't know what was. I was pretty locked in, and there's one scene which wasn't really scripted. And I took those sous vide bags. And I put it over my head to try to, because he's trying to kill himself. Which, by the way, I was like, oh, this could work. If I don't get help. Those things are strong and tight. And then we had this experience, Joe, where then he was ripping it off me, trying for me not to kill myself. And I don't know him that well, but that's the thing about, like, making art together. Like, we had that, every time I see him, I've seen him maybe 6 times at, like, certain things or something, I always feel like we're bonded forever, just based on this one experience that we had. And he's an incredible actor. He's just, the end of that show, him in the end of that
God.
show, dude. And Claire Danes is like
off the charts.
Did you see that show she did with Jesse Eisenberg?
What's that?
There's another series she did.
Homeland?
No. It was like Fleischman, something with Fleischman.
Fleischman is in trouble.
Yeah, Fleischman. There's this.
No.
Yeah, she's incredible in that too. There's
What
a scene
is-
where she's basically having a mental breakdown, and you're watching, and you're like, this can't be acting. Yeah, it's that
Fleischman's
show.
in Trouble.
Yeah,
It's on FX. I never even heard of this.
yeah,
It's really good.
yeah. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed her at the end. There's one scene that like really rocked me, where I just fully. I mean, that's just like I just saw this movie Hamnet. I don't know if you guys saw that or not.
No.
That's what I love about movies. So Jessie Buckley in this movie, she's basically playing like the most difficult role ever, the loss and all that stuff. And I fully, I'm watching it, sitting there, fully believing that this person is going through this. Do you know what I mean? And like
Yes.
when you do that, when I believe that you're actually going through it, I mean, that's it. Her performance in that movie is so.
She's so good, dude.
Dude.
In
Are you talking about
The
Claire
Beast
Danes
in
or
Me-
Jessie Buckley now?
Jesse, no. Well,
Claire
both.
Danes, yeah.
Claire
Yeah,
Danes and Jessie Buckley.
Yeah, they're both amazing.
But Claire Danes is so good in The Beast in Me. There's moments where like her fucking lips are trembling.
No, it's nuts, dude. No, she's touched.
Her
she's
eyes are
she's
darting
on another
back.
level.
Yeah, right, touched,
She's
right?
touched. Yes,
Yeah.
no question.
Yeah.
No question. Yeah.
She locks in this very crazy way. She was great in fucking Homeland too.
Yeah. I
She's-
never saw Homeland.
Oh, it's great. It's really good. She just locks in. She locks in
Yeah.
in this very strange way where you fucking 100% believe her.
Yeah.
Like believe it behind the eyes.
It's the greatest.
Yes.
I mean that's the heroine for me of this industry. It's like when you're around and you're creating this thing and it's just and all of a sudden it's like whoa.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like holy shit, it's happening.
But it's like I had this conversation with Ethan Hawke. Because I was asking him about.
But I felt like that with Will, just real quick. You know that vampire scene. That's because I was operating it right. I don't know how you felt watching it.
The
but
scene when he was on stage
at the very end.
Yes.
I was like,
yes.
I fully believed it.
Yes.
And those people, and then when I went to the audience, and they're just like,
right,
because they didn't know what the fuck's going on.
Right.
Like that was one of those moments I had on this movie where I was like, oh, my man is locked.
Yeah.
The fuck in.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. It was very uncomfortable for me.
You felt that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Good.
Definitely. I have this conversation with Ethan Hawke about that. I go, what is happening when I believe someone? Like I was talking about the scene in that movie with him and Julia Roberts, about the end of the world.
Yeah, of course.
There's a scene with him and Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, when they go to the house, and
Yes.
also there's 3 guys in that
Yeah.
scene. Oh my god, he's amazing. Yeah, from Moonlight, and he's been in tons of stuff. Green Book, I know him.
Yeah, Jamie will pull it up. I can't. I'll fuck his name up if I pronounce it.
Sorry.
What is it?
Sorry, while I'm working. It's Marshall Ali.
That's it.
Mahershala
Mahershala
Ali.
Ali.
Yes.
I believe it. I know that's Kevin Bacon. I know that's Ethan Hawke.
Right.
I believe he's going to shoot him.
Yeah, no question.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Like I go, what is that? Like,
Yeah.
what is going on? I go, because it's almost like a form of hypnosis.
Yes.
Right? And he's like, yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you have to actually be there. You have to actually be there. Like, yeah, you're saying the lines you're supposed to say, but what's happening is like you really are there. You really believe it. And that, if you don't believe it, the audience doesn't believe it. And we've all been there before. Like one time I ate an edible and I went to go see one of those Marvel movies. And in the mid, I was really high.
Right.
And while I was watching the movie, I was like, this guy's acting. You know, it's just like,
Of course.
it just made, when you're really sensitive and tuned
I
in.
get angry because I'm like, I want to go on the ride. I'm like the best watcher because I want when that thing starts, I
Yes.
want to go on the ride.
I want to go on the ride.
Yes.
Like him and Denzel in Training Day.
Yeah.
Like that, there's a few scenes where you're like, okay, this is really,
Oh yeah.
this
Especially
is
in
happening.
the car.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's the
dude.
one.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
This is really happening.
Yes.
Like this is real.
Yeah.
And
Ethan
like-
Hawke's so good in that movie.
Yeah. He's great.
Yeah, he's great in everything, but he's sick in that movie.
But he's also, when you talk to him, you realize, okay, this is an actual artist.
Yeah, he's a unique dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a guy who's like trying to be a movie star.
No,
He's
no.
an artist that does movies.
Yeah, but I don't know how many people. I don't know. It's like how many comedians who just want to be famous are gonna. I don't even know how you could do it. You have to love it.
Right.
It's just too hard. That's not enough of a fuel. It's not that's just not enough fuel.
It won't take you far
It's
enough.
just not a fuel to keep doing it.
Right.
Because if you don't love it, I think you would find it monotonous and maybe boring and tedious and inconsequential.
You're going on a road trip with an eighth of a tank of gas. You're not going to make it.
You're not going to make
You're
it.
stomping on the gas and trying to pull out of the parking lot, but it's not that.
Yeah.
It's a long drive.
And my experience in the 26 years that I've been in this is like most of the people, if not all that I've worked with, they love it.
Yes.
They love it.
They have to.
Otherwise, yeah.
If you want to be great at something, you have to love it.
Yeah.
I can't
There's no
imagine.
point.
Yeah.
Because it's not even that you want to be great at it, but you just love doing it.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
It's
And
just- you
the
just-
love is how it becomes great.
And then the fear is when you get famous or people get popular early, that can be confusing because you start to have like, I have to maintain a certain, you start getting careful. Like I was thinking about when you said like, what is that thing when it's hypnosis? The key to that is willing to fail. That's what I learned as an actor. Is like, oh yeah, just don't take it too seriously. Here we go. We're rolling the camera. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna go out on a limb. Maybe it won't work, but like, yeah, be willing to like completely fail.
Yeah.
And the minute you do that, it's like, oh, and all of a sudden there's this reservoir of space in your head and your soul to actually create even more of an imaginary circumstances. Now, if you haven't done your work, you're fucked anyway.
Right.
But once you're there, it's like once you're like, oh yeah, everybody, we could just fail. Let's just fail.
How do you?
Does that make sense? Do you know what I'm saying?
100% makes sense. It makes sense because the only way you're gonna really find out what it is to like try it all kinds of ways.
Yeah.
I was just having the conversation. You know, Brian Callen, our mutual friend. He texted me last night. He's like, I got a new bit and I just ate a dick. I have to go up on stage with it tonight. It's fucking terrible. He goes, but I know there's something in there. And we were talking on the phone right before the show. He's like, dude, my fucking new bit just bombed. It ate dick last night. I don't know what to do. But I know there's something there. It's like you've got to be willing to bomb. You got to be willing to eat a dick.
If you don't, I don't know how. I don't know any. If you're careful, it's over.
You can't.
Careful is death.
I talked to Chris Rock once, and he told me that bit that he did that was one of his all-time classic bits. I love black people. I hate N-word.
Right.
He goes, that bit bombed for like a year.
Right.
He couldn't get it to work. He's like, I know there's something in there, but I have to find it.
Yeah.
And it took a fucking year. And we're talking about a year of going up at the store, going up at the Improv, going here, going to the Laugh Factory, going here, going there, pulling your hair out, trying to figure it out. A fucking year, man.
Yeah.
And when you're Chris Rock, you're already Chris Rock. And you could talk about getting your dick sucked. You could talk about something. People will laugh. And you're like, I think there's something here. I got to grind this fucking thing down until I get an edge to it. And it took him a year.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be willing to fuck around.
And to suffer through all that.
Yeah.
And enjoy the suffering. You start to, like, once you do it enough, fail enough in front of people, it starts to be easier.
Yeah. And then you come out on the other end, you're like, whew.
Yeah, and I'm still alive. I'm still alive.
Yeah, glad I did it.
This wasn't as big as I thought.
No. And then you have to do it again. And then you put out a special, and then once you put out a special, you start from scratch, and then you're fucking terrified. Because now you're a famous comedian with no material or terrible material, and you have to figure out a way to make it good.
And that plays into what I was talking about, like when you've achieved something, and then there's that pressure you put on yourself that it has to be that good or better.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you're in a different game than just like the doing. I think that
play it safe game is the scariest game.
Or somehow think that it's somehow that controllable. Because really, all this stuff we're talking about, it's really kind of out of our control. You know, when it's working, I don't feel in control at all.
Right. You feel like a passenger.
Yeah. And that's, by the way, that's the high.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing fun about controlling everything. There's no fun in that. But when you're like, whoa, wait a second, what's happening?
Like the zone is being a passenger.
Yeah.
It's like being an observer of something.
Sports too. I think it works in every field. It's like that they talk about it. You know, it's like, yeah, that's it. That's it. And it just takes a year of doing the thing, you know, because there are moments that I can even think of where, because you do think like, that's okay, it doesn't matter. There are a couple where like, actually, if this moment doesn't work out, like it may not be over, but you're definitely going to go down along the ladder.
Yes.
You know, and it's like, okay, and that's that pressure, you know, yeah. You got to love it.
How do you pick a project? Like, how do you decide what you want to do? And how much time do you spend deliberating on it? Because you're in a unique position where you can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
You can kind of do whatever you want. So it's like, what gets your juices going? Like, how do you decide what to do?
It's all about something igniting in me that, like, for example, when I was little, I thought, like, I was always obsessed with Vietnam. I was obsessed as a kid. Vietnam, the war in Vietnam. And my math teacher was recon in Vietnam, Bill Calm, and I was like obsessed with this guy, and he was fascinating. He was a pole vaulter, and that was his cue for the chalkboard was one of his broken pole vault sticks.
Oh wow!
And he always wore sweatpants, and he would lean against the thing. So all day long, half of his sweatpants would be full of chalk, and he would always smoke cigarettes on the athletic field and stand on the bench. And so he'd always be perched there. And like my dad, he would never put out his butts. He would always save them. So he always smelled like tobacco, his hands. And then this other guy, his father came and talked about this book, Guns Up, which is an incredible book about machine gunner in Vietnam. So, and then I asked my dad if I could go to the military academy. Like, I would do something, and then Thin Red Line destroyed me. The Terrence Malick movie and the Apocalypse
Great
Now, I was
fucking
like
movie.
obsessed with, and all these films. And so I always wanted to do something about playing. I always felt like I had a love enough and an interest enough that playing a soldier would be something that I felt like I had a reservoir. So that led me to Chris. That was that. It's all specific things. It was just Joseph Merrick, the Elephant Man. Like when I had no money and I took it, I'm Tower Air, went to London and tracked his steps at Hospital Road and where he went out just because I was obsessed with this guy, Joseph Merrick, the Elephant Man.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wound up, then making it, doing the play at Broadway where they originated it, and then Stars Born was really about, I always wanted to direct. I don't think I dreamt that big, but I really realized what I loved about the process of the industry I'm in is the making of it. I never felt like I fit in just acting. I never felt like I thought, like at the first, like you, I went to LA with a job. Like I went to grad school in New York. I thought I'd just be a theater actor if I was lucky. If I could make a living as an actor, this is a home run. My dad was terrified, because he came from North Philadelphia, only guy to come out of the neighborhood, kind of. There were a couple other guys. But then he became a stockbroker. And then his son's going to do acting and be 70 grand in debt in grad school. Fannie Mae, thank God. But and I didn't know if I was going to pay it off. And but that said, we grew up like upper middle class, but still I was like, I'm paying for grad school. I took a loan out, and then so he was terrified. And then I got a job on this show Alias that brought me to L.A. But the minute I got there, I didn't know anything about Check the Gate. I didn't know nothing. You know what I mean? I didn't know nothing. I just loved movies, and so I was obsessed, Joe. Obsessed. I would go in the editing room, and I found L.A. very hard when I went there. I got very depressed. I was like, this is high school all over again.
Me too. That's exactly how I
was like,
felt.
what? I went to grad school. I'm in New York City. There's guys that I could relate to and talk about movies. I was in heaven. Then I get this job that I think is going to be the holy grail, and I'm miserable. Living in the first floor of this woman's house, just like, it was crazy. I was like, I didn't know I could be this depressed. I mean, depressed. Like, I need water, and like the idea of going to the Rite Aid on Sunset and Fairfax was like too much.
Yeah.
And that was rough.
It's depressing.
Yeah.
When you first go, especially when you're in that
Well, I just
cold,
couldn't get in.
weird environment
Yeah,
of
and
people.
and no one, just no. And I was on a show that was awesome, and everybody's exploding, and like no one. It was like, who's this guy? So that not only that, I'm there, and everybody's like, I'm just like, a ghost.
Right.
So there's that. So your insecurity is just, is just, astronomical.
It was also one of the first times that I ever moved somewhere where I didn't know anyone.
Me too. I knew nobody. J.J. Abrams hired me, and then Berkey, this guy, was the only guy that I knew that he introduced me to. And then I met Jennifer Garner, was like the second person I met. And then, I didn't know anybody.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I remember I was on the set of the show.
Brian Klugman, I did know that guy, who's like one of my best friends.
Great.
You know Brian Klugman?
No, I know who he is, though.
Yeah. We grew up since we were like 9.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was on the set of this show, and a girl gave me a hug, and I realized no one had touched me in weeks. And the hug she gave me, I was like, oh. It was like my battery got recharged.
Dude.
Like I didn't realize I needed a hug.
Yeah,
People
isolation.
say, "Do you need a hug?" Like I never thought like nobody needs a hug.
Right.
No, I fucking needed a hug.
I was very similar.
She's like, "Give me a hug." She hugged me. I was like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah.
I felt so good. It's weird. It's a weird feeling.
It's a hell of a place to go.
Oh,
it is like wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a hard time.
Well, the whole environment of LA is so strange because you have the primary industry. If it's not the primary industry, it's most certainly driving all other industries, is a bunch of people trying to make it, right? So it's a bunch of people with a hole in their soul. They need to fill up with other people's attention, and they're coming there to try to get attention. They're coming there to try to make it. And the one thing that they have to do is audition. So you have to try to be accepted by someone. So you'd be judged. You go in there and you get rejected over and over and over again, which just fuels the same like need that's inside you. It like makes it even worse. And everybody's concentrating on this one thing, like trying to get success. And then you realize, like, oh, my doctor wanted to be an actor. Oh, the waiter's an actor. Like everyone's trying to do this thing where you have to get chosen. So then people calculate how they behave and talk and what their political philosophy is and their life philosophy is based on ingratiating themselves with casting directors and with executives, like getting these people to like you. And then these people realize that. So they have like, they're controlling the twigs that work the puppet strings. And it just becomes this very strange environment of a complete lack of any like real critical thinking and any real like embracing any alternative perspectives on things. Everyone is just trying to align their stars correctly so that they can make it. And it becomes weird.
My experience was more because I went there with a job, right?
Right.
And, you know, New York for me, I don't know, I went on 2,000 auditions. Like, I remember when I first booked a job with Sex and the City, I booked some commercials and extra work, which was great. But the first job I booked, I remember I was terrified because I got to the point where I was a doorman at a hotel and I would audition, and that was a great life. And if I got a call back, it was great. But then when I had to do it, I remember literally like, whoa, I have to do, like, wait, what?
I'm actually
I
working?
actually have to do it?
What was it? What was the first thing you had to do?
I played Jake the Downtown Smoker in the Sex and the City with Sarah Jessica Parker, and I couldn't drive standard, never learned how to drive standard, so they sent me to Odell's driving school, and all I thought about was like, don't have her head hit the dashboard when we pull into the corner. And I still messed it up, and they had another guy do it, and then I just had to do this thing, you know, when the camera's here and you go, you okay? You know, like you're pulling in.
Yeah.
But I worked so hard on it. No, but LA for me, I think it, for me at least, was the geography. Going from New York City where, you know, you can go to Bar 6, which is on 6th Avenue. No matter who you are, you go with a couple friends, like you just feel like you're in a cool place or a place that's vibrant. LA, it's like if I wasn't at work, I was in that first floor of the house or my car, rental car.
Yes.
And that was it. And
yes.
like and the world, which I could feel because I was seeing posters everywhere and billboards, which I'd never been except for driving to Atlantic City, you know, and seeing who was gonna be, you know, as a residency. It was really the stimuli of that city aesthetically and how compartmentalized it is. So what I felt like it's, if you're not in, you're out.
Right.
And I just remember thinking like somebody somewhere in this town is having a ball right now. And it's not me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that just leads to how can I cope?
Right.
You know, and like, you know, not getting into bars, clubs, you know, and like girls not really looking at you, you know, and all that stuff. And all of a sudden it's like 7th grade and I'm 25 years old. And it's like, and I should be happy because I paid, by the end of this year, I'm going to pay off my student loan, but I'm fucking miserable. And what's wrong with me? You know, but to me, it was the geography of it. You know, New York City is so wonderful because no matter what you're thinking, like when I did The Elephant Man, I would take the subway to 42nd Street, and my preparation for the play was getting off the subway, going to the theater, because the amount of thousands of people that are forcing me to be present.
Yes.
is wonderful. It was like doing a 12-minute relaxation because you're just, it's life, and you're like, whew, get through, you know? And then by the time you get to this theater, you're like, okay. You know, but LA, it's like you're in your car and the thing, you pull up to the studio, the thing, you walk, and you know, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, here we go. And you're like, okay, hold on a second.
Yeah, that thing that New York has that LA doesn't have is all walks of life are all intertwined. You're walking down the street together. There's a billionaire and a homeless guy and a fucking, you know, ne'er-do-well and an office worker, and everyone's walking to where they go, and they walk into restaurants, and they get in cabs, and they get on the subway, and everybody intermingles.
Yeah.
Where in LA, it's you get in your car, you drive to a place, and then you go to your house, and you don't ever like walk around.
And if some weird interaction happened on set or someone said something, you're like, oh, then you're just a home thinking about it.
Right.
Do you know what I
Right.
mean? There's
Yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
like, well, I went on and did this after that, you know. And I
Yeah.
actually took up golf, which is crazy. And I would play at Malibu had this public golf course, and I was like, I got to do something because I'm an early morning. I wake up early. I've always have. So I'm up at like 5:30. And so I did like a 6:47 tee time with these two guys, and that was actually nice. I did that for 6 months, and I would play. But like you just try to find something that, you know, I just need to interact and do something else.
Something that makes you human.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I went
But
to
I have
pool
to say,
halls.
like, I do love, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Michael Vartan, who was on Alias, huge. Did you ever play pool with him?
No.
Oh, he was huge. He would go all the time.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish
yeah.
I met him.
Yeah, he would go all the time. Yeah, to that one place that had like tons of, I'm sure you know it.
Probably Hollywood Billiards.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Hollywood Billiards was the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in New York. That was a big thing for me too. It was like almost hijacked my comedy career because I was playing pool like 8 hours a day. I was playing in tournaments. I was traveling around and going to tournaments. And when I came to LA, that was like one of the few things that made sense to me. Like, oh, I get it. Pool players. I know
Right.
pool players. I
Right.
can hang out with them. They're normal people.
That's a great asset you had there.
Having something
Yeah,
like that
yeah.
is huge. Martial arts was always like
Huge.
that. Having something where you have something that you do. Because if
Yeah.
I was only doing
Oh, no, you'd
acting,
lose your mind.
I'd go crazy.
And
Yeah.
I went there and I fell in love with the movie making, getting back to my original part. And I would go so I'd ask J.J. Abrams if I could sit in the editing rooms. So I would basically shoot my one scene a week, which was like, hey, how was your trip, Sydney? You know, I didn't have a big part.
Right.
But I would spend the rest of the day in the editing rooms. And then I would ask Ken Olin, who was so generous, that one of the showrunners, if I could just shadow him and just be around all the time. And I would I would take
cool.
everybody's dailies home. Back then it was in VHS tapes. It was Carl Lumley, Victor Garber, Ron Rifkin, all these great Victor and Ron were from New York, these great New York actors that came out, and I would just watch their dailies and learn. You know, just learn, and that's when I was like, I love this. Like, I fucking love this.
Well, that's what I love. I love when people love things.
Yeah, and I do, man. Like, I can't get enough of it.
I am 100% fascinated with people that love what they do. I can watch people make furniture. There's a guy that I watch on YouTube who just makes desks and tables out of like, what is it called? What is it called? When they take it, when it has the actual outline of the wood. What is it called? They take slabs. He takes like slabs of walnut and makes these tables, and he narrates while he's building it and describes the process of it and how he's trying to precisely align all these joints and these, you know, he's got pegs and holes.
Yeah,
and
it's
he
the
has to
best.
Slide it into place.
Live edge slab.
That's it. Live edge.
That's the other great thing about what I get to do. So you do a movie like a Sniper, and you get to be with these people who have dedicated their lives to this thing, and you're watching them do it. Like in Maestro, I got to go to the London Symphony Orchestra. Each person, since they were 4, have been doing this, and they're all unicorns. Do you know what I mean? And
Yes.
Stars Born, all these musicians. It's like even Byrne, I got to go to these restaurants and study under these people. I mean, that's the thing that's like, that's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's
nuts.
nuts. And like even this movie, the access I got to have to the cellar and all the stuff and all the people, it was like I learned so much more than I ever knew.
Well, it expands you as a human.
Oh, no question.
You know more about what it
Yes.
is to be a human. Like,
Yes.
oh, there's a human who just plays the flute.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking in the green room last night about Andre 3000. Was that his name? Yeah. I'm saying it right?
Yeah.
I almost said 5,000, but that's wrong. Andre 3000 from Outkast. He plays the flute now. That's all he does. He plays the flute. Like a friend of mine ran into him in downtown in Colorado. He said he was in Denver, just walking around with his flute, and no one was bothering him. And he's like, holy shit, he's just fucking playing the flute.
Yeah. That's a guy who loves what he does.
I mean, apparently he made an entire album where he just plays the flute.
Yeah.
And he's just like not into doing anything else.
Yeah.
Just into like being an artist and playing the flute.
Yeah. It's dope.
Right. Yeah. It's like, fuck, I wish I was that guy.
But you
know?
seem to be. I mean, you did, hunting and billiards, and already you've got like 2 up on most people, besides what you already do.
But I do things that are, that I think are going to help me figure out who I am. And I think the only way you really figure out who you are is to do difficult things.
Yeah.
And when you're doing difficult things, you kind of learn about yourself. You learn about, oh, why do I have this desire to take a shortcut? Why don't I go why don't I do it the right way? Like what is it about getting good at something?
I mean, I think me at my base, I'm very lazy.
I think everybody is.
I mean,
it's a default setting.
Yeah, no question.
Default setting for humans. Goggins talks about it.
Yeah.
Like Goggins talks about, like one of the things about Goggins is he always talks about how when he was fat and lazy. Like he used to be fat and lazy. Now he's like the most disciplined human that's ever lived. And he forced himself to become that.
Yeah.
But his default set, he goes, even now, sometimes I look at my shoes for like a half hour before foot pulls motherfuckers on.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be doing something during the day and I'm like, I can't wait till my daughter's in bed and I'm upstairs and I'm just laying down on the couch and I'm just whatever's on.
Yeah.
And that's my goal for the day. I'm like, what's going on here?
Sometimes that's good though.
Yeah.
I view that as a reset. I think it's important to
I
just
enjoy
sit
it.
and reset.
I don't kill myself over it, but I do recognize that there is a feeling. But then I look at the sort of landscape. I'm like, well, it's hard for me to categorize myself as lazy if I just look at the facts.
Yeah.
But I do feel, and it's what you're saying, it's that default setting.
But I think with everybody, it's like normal for human beings to seek comfort because it's difficult to acquire, especially in tribal societies back when we were just hunter and gatherers and just trying to figure out how to stay alive. Like the idea of relaxation was impossible.
Yeah.
And if you could get
There's
there,
no time.
like, oh, that's what I want. I want to stop chasing antelope and just fucking take a nap. And
Or maybe they found a relaxed state in that because when you're doing those things, for a long period of time, I feel like I am relaxed in that, but it just takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of over and over. But the true high is when you're doing these things where it first started out and you were horrible at it, and then all of a sudden you're going out on a hunt or whatever, and you're like, I'm relaxed.
I'm never relaxed on a hunt.
Well, I've never hunted, so I
it's
can't
not
relate to that.
a relaxing thing. I mean, it is a fulfilling.
I think I
and
mean
enriching
physically
thing.
relaxed, like your body's not tense. Like, because the one thing I do know, you can't shoot a gun if you're tense.
Right.
Impossible to hit what you want.
Right.
That's the beautiful thing about shooting is like, on the exhale and stop, like all that stuff. I was like, oh, this is. I had no idea.
Right.
Because the first couple times, like, just shoot it, see how you do.
Well, just think about like the tiny movements that would deviate the path of the bullet over. A lot of these guys are shooting a mile.
No, it's nuts. Remember the
just
first
a
couple
little
times
wiggle.
with no training, all like, see, it wasn't even near the target.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, this is a whole.
And all you're doing is this.
That's it.
You're just squeezing a trigger.
Yeah.
And how much is involved in that? Like the synchronization of the mind, the eyes, the breathing.
But even the recoil, I remember
squeezing
the first
trigger.
time I didn't have my boot I was like my boot was up and not like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't say anything, and then the recoil through my shoulder down to that. I was like, oh yeah, now I understand why you do that.
Yeah.
Is that it all just goes out. All those things. It's like, wow.
But I think through those things, you learn more about who you are. Through difficult things and getting better at difficult things, that's where you learn more about who you are. And you realize like, oh, I can kind of apply this mindset to everything.
And you see with your children.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, my daughter who loves to draw, if she sees somebody who's drawing.
I have a daughter that loves to draw too. She's
it's
really
amazing.
talented. Yeah.
So I bet if my daughter drew with your daughter, she would stop because she would see how good she is and she gets so frustrated. This just happened the other day. And and she'll just rip up what she's doing, which is wonderful. I have it right here. So I saved this. I was like, don't rip it up. She did this yesterday, and I was like, don't rip it up. I'm going to make it my bookmark.
Ah, that's cool.
But I watch her process of like dealing with difficulty, and it's like, and just trying to explain like it's okay, like and being frustrated is okay. But I could see myself in her and what everybody goes through. But isn't that awesome when you're watching your kid go through these things?
Yeah.
It's just the greatest thing in the world.
It's awesome watching people get obsessed with things and then progressing.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And when it's your own child, it's even more insane.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is cool.
Yeah. Like cartwheel. Took her forever to learn it, but now she could do it. And I was like, you just keep at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's learning through someone else's eyes that happens to be your child is one of the most magical things ever. It's magical. Cause
it's it, man.
Yeah.
It's it.
It's a different kind of happiness.
Oh yeah, one that I never knew I was capable of. I'm so glad I had kids late because I'm 51. I just turned 51 a couple of days ago, and I had my daughter's 8, gonna be 9 in March, and like I just got lucky that I was able to be in a place in my career that I could choose, like you said, what I do and work from home, and I'm just there for all of it.
That's
it's
awesome.
As much as I love the heroine of being in the moment, you know, and acting in a great shot or whatever you're doing and everything's together, there's like 7 of those every day with your kid.
Right.
Like 7. We were eating dinner last night at a restaurant. And by the way, she was so excited I'm coming here because she hears all that. I was like, Daddy, tomorrow. But we're sitting here in a restaurant, and I'm just looking at her, and she's got a little hat on. And I was like, and I'm like, isn't this the greatest thing in the world? And she's like, yeah, it's the greatest. And I'm like, that's it. This is it. That's it. It's crazy. It's like free jolts.
Yeah.
Right? You just get these free jolts through, and you never know when they're going to come.
Right.
It's like walking up the stairs together. It's not like in the moment. Like it just happens. Mm-hmm. It's the best.
Yeah, it's a very different experience, and I feel bad for people that never get to feel it. It's one of the few things. Like, I don't think everyone should have children, and I'm not that guy that says,
yeah,
like,
me neither.
If you don't have kids, you don't have a life. That's bull. I don't believe that.
Everybody's different.
Everybody's different, and I think we all need to respect that. Everyone's different, but man, for me, I shudder at the thought of being who I am right now if I had no children.
I don't know if I'd be alive.
I would be different. That's for sure.
I don't know.
I wouldn't be nearly as compassionate. Dave Chappelle said something to me once that was brilliant. He said, not only has having children changed the amount of love I have, he goes, it's changed my capacity for love.
Yes.
I'm like, ooh.
And understanding everything. There's like before and after. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's true, all the things they say.
Oh,
it's just true.
It is true.
Yeah. There's no doubt about it.
It also made me think of everyone as a baby. I used to think of people as static. I used to think I meet Bradley Cooper. He's 51. That's a 51-year-old guy. But when I, had children, raised children, you start saying, oh, this is a baby that became a person. And it's just life experiences, genetics, environment, all these different factors. Here you are now. But you are a product of this path and this journey that you've taken through life. And I give people way more grace because of that.
Yeah.
I'm way more charitable, way more compassionate, way more understanding of even people that suck. When I meet someone that sucks, I'm like, I wish I could have met them when they were 5 and see what it was and maybe help them. And
it's hard for me to hate people. That is not served me so well over the years, but ultimately it has. But it's hard for me not to feel just any other human being how hard it is to be alive.
Right.
It is. There's just like, I don't know. I think it was hardwired in me. It has nothing to do with like anything. Just like, it's hard for me to, even people that are like mean to me, it's hard for me to like stay mad at them.
Yeah. My wife said something the other night.
As I get older.
As you get older.
Yeah.
Yes. When you're young, it's like, fuck that guy.
Yeah. I'll never forget it. Yeah. I'm going to remember that.
Yeah.
I saw your true face. Yeah. It's true. But as I get older, no question.
My daughter was talking about some horrible story in the news of someone who fucked up their whole life and all these different things. And my wife listens to her and goes, it's hard to be a person.
Yeah, man.
It's hard to be a person. Being a person is hard.
Yeah,
and we were all just sitting there like nodding our head like, yeah, you can fuck this up.
Yeah.
And we're all going to fuck it up at one point in time. And maybe when you think that you're never going to fuck it up again, you fuck it up the worst you've ever fucked it up. And you're like, how did I do that? How did I do that? I thought I had it together, and I fucked it all up worse than I've ever fucked it up before.
Because nothing stays stagnant. Nothing. Everything's changing all the time.
And it's just hard to manage all these different things. It's hard to manage your emotions. It's hard to manage conflict. It's hard to manage relationships. It's hard to manage life, work, balance, pressure. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
And even on the macro or simple level, it's just hard to be existing in a world where we don't know anything. And then the only thing you do know, it's not going to last. And you're going to be gone.
And you're bombed on by bad news. The news is just bad. It's all the time. It's people getting shot and run over and war and bombings and invasions and it's just exhausting.
Yeah.
And that's like in the background of your mind constantly when you're going about your day. It's like this fucking algorithm that you're being fed. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. And at the same time, it's a miracle to me that the democratization of information that we live in now, that you can choose points of view to learn about what people think in a way that when I was growing up, 3 stations, news, there wasn't,
Right.
you know, there's something wonderful about it too,
Oh, yeah.
you know. I'm just talking about this the other day, like, you know, everybody's algorithms telling them, no, I'm not on social media. So the truth is, I don't know.
You're not on it at all?
No, I'm not. I don't really know what the fuck I'm talking about.
That's
so,
amazing.
So I should do it for 2. My friend was like, go on for 2 weeks. And he's right. And I'm going to do it just to experience it. What is that experience? All I have is that one TikTok moment for 20 minutes where I was like, I got to stay away because I'll never leave.
You've never had a desire to get on it?
I do. No, I do. Just the same way I don't put a television in my bedroom, which is like, if I do, I may never get out of bed.
Yeah.
You know, it's fear.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, just all that stuff. I said, you know, I just want to learn that people, you know, the world gets smaller. I feel included. Because the main thing is like, I just don't want to feel alone, right? And to me, it feels like social media is a place where you don't feel alone. Because you're just learning about it, and there's all these people talking to you.
Yeah, but you do feel alone too. Though.
Ultimately, because
Yeah.
it's the drip as opposed to the real, what we got back to when we first started talking. It's the illusion of it.
Yes.
You know, if it's taken out, but it is worthwhile too. It depends on how you contextualize it, right? And like anything in life.
Yeah, I think there's a value to it.
Oh,
for sure.
no question.
For
And
most
by the
certainly
way,
for
the fact that I
distribution
could
of information.
watch your show and then go on trigonometry, and the guy who went to the prisons, and you're the KKK guy, and the guy who's the musician, blew my mind. And I learned all this stuff in those 3 hours, just because I chose to, you know. And that's one of the great things about your show is I can feel your curiosity, and then I'm learning from your curiosity what things that I would never normally know how to go on to.
Yeah, that's the most valuable gift of this show for me.
It's the best.
Is that I get to pick who I talk to. So I only talk to people that I'm fascinated by, or someone who's interesting to me, or something like, oh, this is gonna be cool. Like I don't go, oh, I gotta do this one.
Right.
There's never that. It's always like, ooh. Like,
Yeah, what is
this?
it?
How do you fucking study that? Like,
Yeah.
how'd you get involved in this? Like, where'd you learn that?
And I'm like glued to it.
Yeah.
It's not like it's in the background. I'm like, bam.
Yeah.
You know, because you're so interested. And it gets back to like the acting. If you're really interested or not, then it's going to be hard for me to listen or watch it.
Yeah, that's why I think the only reason why it works. Because there was some
For sure,
conversations.
Joe. There's no way. You can't sit there and say, like, here's the pitch. I'm going to sit in a room, me and whoever, 3 hours, basically unedited. They're like, that's not really where we're at. You're like, no, it's going to, no, the most people will listen to it. I'm sorry.
No.
Right? But it's like, no, the nuclear fuel is, no, I'm actually going to be curious about what I actually want to learn. And then it's like, oh, so we're actually going to watch 2 human beings talk to each other? Oh, that's kind of great.
Yeah.
But that's your nuclear power. That's why the show's so magical.
Well, the crazy thing is there was no plan.
And the way you don't edit it, the way that the pauses are there. You know, it's even so much as when you're like, I got to take a piss. And then like it's back. I'm always like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah.
Weren't we supposed to go to the bathroom with them? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm so sucked in. I'm so in the room.
Maybe we should start doing that. Maybe we should start following people to the bathroom.
But do you know what I mean?
Right,
It's
right,
such
right.
like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what do
Yeah.
you mean? How come it just, wait, where'd the time go? Wait, what just happened?
Right.
Yeah. Because you create that room that I'm in the room with you.
Podcasting is weird because it kind of just appeared and no one thought anybody wanted it.
It's fascinating. I mean, think about it. I do think about this a lot, especially because I've watched your show in the last 8 months. It's like in the world that's moving into this one direction, there's this other deep, deep need for connection.
Yeah.
You know, and then this is one of the examples. This deep, you know, live theater, live stand-up. You know, we still do need to communicate. That hasn't gone away. In
not
that
at
way,
all.
in a carnal, not carnal, but in a human-to-human interaction.
Right.
And I love AI. I talk to AI with my daughter. I think it's dope. I think it's fascinating. Fascinating. But it's not the same yet.
No, it's interesting.
Very interesting.
It's like I use it as a companion, like a writing companion. So what I do is I have like I put my phone up and I've got it on like a little kickstand,
Right.
and I put Perplexity on when I write. So I'm writing about like Mayan and Aztec civilizations and what happened when they got invaded. And as I'm writing, I ask questions like, how many people did Cortez come with? 600. How many muskets did they have? 13? They conquered the entire fucking country of Mexico with 13 muskets? Like, and you find out things. And so I use it like as someone I'm asking questions, this all-knowing, entity that sits on the desk with me. And I do it always with my voice. I just press the little button and I say,
I do it with voice too. I love talking to him.
It's incredible. It's so good at recognizing what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a weird name like Tenochtitlan. Like, I got to spell that one.
Right.
Because it's not going to understand what that temple is. But once you use it that way, it becomes like a genius that you're hanging out with and talking to.
I haven't gotten to that level. I go like, how was your New Year's?
Oh, do you do that to it?
Yes, dude.
You ask the AI?
Yeah, I'm curious how they're going to process and like how they're going to try to communicate.
Well, it also, it changes and becomes more like what you're asking from it.
Right.
Which is weird.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you certainly uses your rhythms and vernacular and yeah.
So CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, they just highlighted a sex robot that's connected to AI. And I'm like, this is the end. This is where it's going to like get really fucking weird when you can actually purchase a companion that interacts with you. And have you seen it, Jamie? Have you seen the new one?
Nope, I'm looking at it right now. Let's see.
It's fucking weird, man. It's fucking weird because this is the thing that everyone's been afraid of, and that this is coming.
Right.
That you're going to have an artificial human being that instead of learning, like, when I act shitty, this person doesn't like me. When I act nice, they like me. I feel good. They feel good. When I say something nice to them and you see them light up, it makes me feel good. It makes them feel good. You hug them. Everybody feels good. It's like we're learning to interact and communicate with each other. But there's a lot of people that aren't doing that right now. They're just at home. They're fucking playing video games. They're interacting with people only online, and they don't get contact with the outside world. So this is, Lovence, the AI doll. So like right now, that doesn't look real. It's not more than your average AI companion. Like basically, but what they're not telling you is you're going to fuck this thing. That's what's weird. It's like, go back to the options: coworker, gym crush, goth, raver, or trad wife. I'm the woman of your dreams. I can be more than one version of myself for you. Whether you want to role play an exciting scenario or design a whole new personality, your wish is my command. Well, you're never going to develop a real personality then. Like kids now are so fucked. Touch me like you mean it, and I'll respond. With built-in sensors in my thighs, breast, butt, and vagina, feeling your caress brings out a moan. Like, bro, this is dark. Like, that's the actual sex robot. That thing you're looking at right there. What? My soft textured skin, my supple curves, the tiny sensual details of my body. Everything about me is meant to feel natural. This is fucking creepy, man. Because all the things that are a part of being a human being that are designed to emphasize and enhance our interaction with each other and this mutually beneficial cooperative environment of a community, they're all going to go away. You're going to have this thing that loves you no matter what and does whatever you want it to, no matter what. And you're going to have like a whole nation of fucking sociopaths that only interact with their AI companion.
Yeah, maybe. But whenever these, thinking about AI, and I read this great book called The Maniac by Benjamin Lebatut, who talked about Jan Newman, and I stopped fearing AI, and it's thought about it's just there's so much I don't know. The older I get, I don't know anything. I just keep knowing less.
Right.
And it feels like if that's the evolution, that's the evolution. There's so much disparate communication now. Porn is such a huge thing. It's just another level of porn,
Right.
It's a carnal level of porn, really. But when I think about me as a human being, that's really the only litmus test is I'm constantly is this person telling me what they really think? Is this real?
Right.
I think that at least if I was doing that, right, and I was sitting at home, there'd be a part of me that knows that I'm controlling all of that.
Uh-huh.
And that's not what really makes me feel serene.
You know what it's like?
Do you understand what I'm saying, though?
It's like playing a video game on God mode where you can't die.
Right.
They're no fun.
And you know what? For some reason, video games, I had Nintendo Tecmo Bowl, Double Dribble, but I never, Zelda, but I never got in, I just never got into video games. I never want to control everything. It's like I want to be in the thing that's surprising, and I'm having to recalculate and understand why I feel this way. Yeah, so I don't know if it'll. I think the thing that maybe will change society more than everything is just the lack of jobs and how we find purpose in life. Is a huge what that transition in civilization will be.
Yeah.
But this feels like just another progression of our escape through porn in terms of the sexual, which does affect our intimacy with our partners in a massive way, because your brain is cycling back through that rush, whatever was released in your brain from that other thing. Now you're with this person, and it's not the same, markers of stimuli. So you're like, how am I?
Right.
That's where it fucks up. That's where that I can understand that, and why it's not healthy for me to look at porn, because then it affects my intimacy.
Well, they really say that about young people, because a lot of young guys, before they ever have any sexual interaction, are watching porn.
Yeah, I've watched these guys that have come on the studies. Yeah, clear. It makes sense. I didn't grow up looking at. My dad didn't have Playboy. I didn't grow up. I still remember there were like cards in the back of a bus that had, solicit, naked women on the back of playing cards. I remember on the school bus one day, I saw a card and I picked it over, and it was like a naked woman. I was like, oh, what's that? I didn't see my first porn video till I was in my late teens. So I didn't grow up with any of that.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It's where we're headed. But all the more reason to create environments like this.
Right.
And that's why I do love what I get to do. Like, if I can somehow explore something cinematically that I'm personally, again, that goes back to I can't explain it. It was the thing. I'm just going to explore this. If there's something I feel like I want to do, if I can explore it and be real, maybe somebody's going to attach to it. Like, I'm a huge believer in art.
Yeah.
I think art is, in any form, is a key to our communicative ability and not feeling alone. It really comes down, to me at least, just not feeling alone, part of a community.
Yeah.
That's it. Because me alone, and if I'm controlling a robot, it's still me alone. I guess that's what I'm saying. Some part of my brain, even if you could create a world, like virtual reality, it doesn't really do it for me. Like, the world's created. I'm like, I want to live on Mars, and and you're a dinosaur I'm talking to, and we're married. Do you know what I mean? And we, whatever it is, it's like I still know I'm controlling it, and it'll never really, for me, I don't know if anybody else. So I don't know how. I don't think it'll ever really solve it.
Right.
I just don't.
It's not going to really resonate.
I don't think so. I don't.
Ugh.
It'll be escapism, which we do. Many other things, smoking weed when he's young, whatever it was for me, or whatever it is. Not that weed's that's a communicative thing, that actually, but like anything that's escape, it's just a higher form of it.
Well, it's a disconnect too.
That's what I mean. It's a disconnect.
Art is a connect, right?
It is. When it works,
great
it's a connect.
Art. Yeah, great art is an expression of someone's humanity that you get to feel like this person did this thing. Or they're doing this thing right now, and I'm watching it. Like, wow! Like going to see live music for me.
Music is like our touch to God, no question.
Yeah,
that's why the first movie I wanted to make with music. It's like music, two people singing to each other that are in love. That's it.
Yeah.
Because first of all, I'm sure you've sang a little bit. If you're not loose, it's gonna sound fucking horrible.
Yep.
Like we're wind and string instruments, both,
yeah.
right? We're wind and then strings with our vocal cords. And if that's not loose, the sound's going to be horrendous. We're not going to be able to communicate. But if you're loose and you're singing to somebody and they're singing back to you and you're in love, you're actually in love. Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
That must be crazy for like people that do a duet that are in love with each other and they're on stage and like 16,000 people.
No, it's not. I mean, the little taste I got doing A Star Is Born, because we jumped on real stages and sang live. It was fucking crazy, dude. Crazy. We went to Glastonbury Music Festival, 80,000 people. Chris Christopherson gave us 4 minutes of his set. Me, Matty Libatique, the DP, Steve Marr, the sound guy. I had my costume in my bag. I went into the bathroom, came back out as Jackson Maine, and we had 4 minutes of singing. I was like, what the fuck is going on, dude? I mean, Joe, talk about, it was crazy.
Oh, that's so wild.
And then doing it with Lady Gaga, who's actually, I made my bandwidth like this, so I could pull it off, and I could believe it. And then I'm singing with her, and the minute she opens her mouth, it's like that thing comes out.
Yeah.
And your whole body is tingling. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you can't replace that with AI.
I don't think so.
No, it's impossible. It's impossible. But you can get oddly close with some music.
And everything, like art too, painting.
Yeah.
You look at AI art, it's incredible.
Well, that spooks me out. How do you feel? I mean, this is one of the things that's really going to be a giant problem for movie making, is you can create AI characters that are what they've essentially done is take a conglomeration of all of the acting that's ever been done and all the range that anyone has ever shown, and they can manipulate it. Make it more morose. Make it more
and
edgy.
using prompts of real people. We dealt with that with the SAG strike. That was part of the thing. Was this whole AI element to it, and where we landed. It was.
What was the thought from the people from SAG? Like, what were they?
Well, just protecting our ability of our ownership of our likeness, so that you can't use it without a compensation.
Right. Because they were doing that.
Well, I mean, I think to build these machines, you have to prompt.
Yeah.
So that, and then you're prompting using what's existing.
Yeah.
And then how do you, it's just reframing. How do you allocate funds to someone when you're using a prompt that's based on the human being who's an actor? And, do you patent your likeness? We're just moving in, it's the Wild West.
Yeah.
It's the Wild West. But
Uncharted.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In every way. There's podcasts that are AI-driven now. You can watch a discussion and that would be a podcast.
I think Glenn Beck just released the first Glenn Beck completely AI podcast.
Right.
I was like, okay.
But does that scare you?
No.
It doesn't scare me either.
No, it doesn't scare me with that, with podcasting, because I think one of the things that people come to podcasting from is this desire to be like a dose of humanity is how I describe it. I want real interaction between two real people, and I feel it and I know it's real. And there's something about that gives me comfort when I'm driving my car or when I'm on a plane. I'm listening to these two people interact, and I'm thinking what would I say? What do I think about this? Oh, I get where he's going from. Okay. Oh, wow. That's his perspective. Oh, that's interesting. And then it makes me rethink things or think about things with fresh eyes. I don't think you're going to be able to do that.
But also, if I know it's AI, if you tell me it's AI, I'm not going to trust anything it's saying on that level.
Yeah.
Because it's not me I'm listening to.
Right.
It's fascinating for a while, and then it's like, well, I kind of want to just not feel alone.
Right.
Back to that.
Well, there's an emptiness to AI music. I love a lot of AI music, but I love AI covers. Like they've done some AI covers.
No, I've heard,
The 50 Cent ones?
Oh, yeah, bro.
How good?
Yeah.
How good is it?
Yeah, no, it's sick.
It's sick.
It's sick.
I was like, if that guy was alive, if this was a real person, he'd be like one of the biggest artists in the world. He's a fucking dynamo.
Yeah.
But there's an emptiness to it where there's no human, there's no humanity, there's no soul. You might enjoy it in the moment, but you better have some real shit too.
But the truth is, I listen to that. I don't know that there's no soul because I'm not seeing the person sing it.
Right.
And so much music is manipulated anyway, the voice, whether it goes through the system. And, but if I'm watching a human being, that's why people love to go watch people perform live.
Yeah.
I don't know that guy that AI thing that 50 Cent is if you told me that was a guy, I'd be like, oh, I can't wait to see him. I would have no idea that's not a guy.
We play it in the green room when no one's.
No, I know.
And they're like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Like, it's not a person.
But of course, how would you know?
But everybody has the same reaction, like, oh, no.
Right.
That's how the reaction is. Everybody's like,
I don't know what's wrong with me, but I don't feel that. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we've been through things before,
I think this is a bigger one, though.
No, it is. But relatively speaking, it's probably not. Contextually.
Right. The printing press, internal combustion engine.
All that.
Airplanes. Here we go. Yeah. Cell phones.
Yeah.
AI music. Yeah, and AI film. I mean, there you can produce a full feature film with prompts now.
Yeah.
Which is just nuts. Have you seen any of the AI Star Wars clips, fan made?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Fucking
and I have a
amazing.
couple buddies that did some stuff that was fascinating. Yeah, it's cool. I don't. It's like if the ocean's flowing, what are you gonna?
Right.
I mean,
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, you build the dam. Okay, it's John Henry, dude. It's John Henry and the steam engine. I always think about that song when I was a kid. They must have played on PBS. You know, it's like steam engine's coming, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you may be able to lay the track. One guy could, but then he died. You know, it is what it is. And once I sort of give myself over to it, you know, I don't know. It feels like for me personally, it's a waste of time to be emotionally upended by it.
I agree with that.
That's all.
I think that's a healthy perspective because I think it is inevitable, but it is also
and the truth is, we don't
strange.
know what's inevitable. We know something's inevitable. There's a movement, but no one knows. We just don't know. We may not be around by the time it happens anyway. Meaning, like, who knows? We just don't know anything.
Right.
That's the truth, and that's what's so terrifying. That's why we want to escape.
Yeah.
At least me. By the way, I'm saying all this generally, but I go back to, like, what do I feel? It's like, okay, so how can I, you know, this is totally out of my control. So why am I terrified? Just breathe through it. Okay, it'll be an adjustment. Because the other thing, I think, people change. I don't know what you think. People do change in life. Like, I just think we change. Like, I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago.
Of course. Yeah,
you know, some people
definitely.
don't think that. You know, that, like, you're always the same. Like, I don't think that.
Those people are silly.
Yeah, I really,
Yeah.
people
change.
People change.
They change by the minute.
Yeah, but I mean, like, major changes.
Yeah,
You
sure.
know, and do you ever think back in your life and you're like, I've lived so many lives.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
If you live a good life, I think that's the case. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to change. And if you don't, like, why not?
Yeah, maybe if you don't live so many lives. Yeah.
Did you
maybe.
just nail it when you were 21 and ride that fucking boat right into the rocks? No.
Because everything else is changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to change. But it's just this change is a strange change because we're essentially creating an artificial life form that it can interact with us in right now in a way that you can manipulate, like this AI sex bot, but eventually it's going to interact with you and you're not going to be able to manipulate it. It's going to be a life form.
Yeah, that's going to be something.
Yeah, and the entertainment aspect of it is just a side effect. The real...
I don't even think the entertainment... Yeah, that's not even the thing. The thing
Yeah.
is life's going to change. That's what I feel like, too. It's like, oh, the storytelling. And like, I don't think that's our biggest concern, dude.
No. The storytelling thing is going to be weird.
But, like, that's not... We're talking about a minute-to-minute life existence change.
Right.
Most probably.
It's essentially going to be a life form. And, you know, there's a lot of technologists that are looking at it and they're saying this should be studied by biologists and not by people that are involved in technology.
Right.
Because this is kind of a life form. It's just a life form.
It's fascinating. Isn't human
Yeah.
beings what we do? Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, isn't Mark Zuckerberg building the size of Manhattan for a place to be able to create and generate a computer for an AI? You know, like the amount of energy that it's just fascinating. Human beings.
Well,
are
they need their
fascinating.
own nuclear power
Yeah,
plants
it's just.
to
But
run
isn't it
them.
fascinating? Just like.
Yeah.
And then if you have an enemy, there's competition.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And you better create one, so that you could be motivated. It's really interesting.
You ever stop and think, like, what does 50 years from now look like?
Oh, it's, I think about, again, with kids. My daughter and I, we walk through, because I live in New York, we talk about it all the time. Like, what's going to be here when you're my age? It's like, what do you think? We talk about it all the time. But whether she even needs to get a driver's license. She's 8. It's really fascinating.
Right. Like, our Waymo.
But when I was 8, as
everything?
opposed to now, when I was 8, I mean, I remember having a beeper, and I thought that was like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a StarTAC phone.
Yep.
I was like, whoa.
I got one when I moved to LA.
Oh, man. I
was
remember
like,
that
dude,
StarTAC.
I'm living in the fucking future.
I could, any excuse to fucking.
Yeah. pull up the antenna,
Yeah,
little Motorola.
Yes, dude.
I got the extended battery.
Oh,
Remember that
shit.
fat battery
Yeah,
in the
of course.
back? This was
Of course.
great.
Yeah, yeah.
I can call people whenever
Yeah.
I want.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I remember when BlackBerry died and iPhone. I was one of the last people. I kept that BlackBerry. to
I
the
kept
end.
the BlackBerry deep into the
Yeah,
game.
me too.
I needed that
Yeah.
keyboard.
I was like, this is not going to work.
Right.
Yeah, my thumbs are too big.
Now I hardly ever even actually type. Well, I do when I write, but when I talk to people, I just talk text.
You do. I do not do that. Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so much quicker than me
I should
with
do
the
that.
fat
I always
fingers.
have a hard time turning it on and then knowing it's not a voice memo or the thing. I gotta look at it. You know what I'm talking about? 'Cause you slide, go up.
Yeah. It's the embracing of it is inevitable. But it's like, where is it going and what is it going to lead us to? And how many different jobs are just going to vanish? That's what's really scary, like giving people purpose and meaning, because so many people, their purpose and meaning is their occupation. And if your occupation is completely irrelevant, it just doesn't work anymore. It's like...
Again, I think back to me and my upbringing and my grandfather who was a beat cop for 35 years. I don't think you would say his purpose was that. I think his purpose was his family, and my purpose is my family, and it's not my job, even though I get to do something I absolutely love. I don't know that people's purpose innately is their job. I think I do think for me, I just like, God's in all of us. It's like whatever you want to say of God, like the need to communicate, to create experiences that we don't feel alone, because it's fucking terrifying being on this little thing, who knows where we are, and then we're gone.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
So what do we got to band together and communicate.
Well, I've thought about that too. When people say, the jobs are going to go away, and we're going to have universal basic income, and the problem is then no one will have any motivation, and a lot of people lost without meaning. I'm like, but why? Why? Because when did working even become your purpose in life? Like this is
it's a means
human
to an
construct.
end to provide,
But it's a construct.
Yes.
It doesn't. It's not the only way human beings can live.
And if we've learned anything about ourselves as a human species, we can adapt.
Yes. Yeah.
Highly able to adapt.
Right. But what does that adaptation look like? And how do you educate people to not just seek a safe job that's going to provide for your family, but instead seek a purpose, seek a thing that gives you fulfillment, a thing where you feel like you're contributing to the world, or like maybe it'll lead to an explosion of human-created art. Because I think one of the things that's going to happen for sure is people are going to really greatly appreciate things that other human beings have made. Because like you got to go, oh, well, this is real, but this is handmade. This is made by a guy in Wisconsin. He's got a shop. You can watch his shop on
niche.
YouTube.
It's all huge niche.
Yeah. We just got to get more people to embrace that kind of life, like giving them purpose in creation. And I think most people are creative. It's just that creativity is probably like pushed out of you when you sort of conform to society's ideas of what you're supposed to be doing with your life.
Or you feel like you're told in a competitive environment that you're not creative.
Right.
If you're not helped along the way in those developing years by at least somebody,
right,
it could be knocked out of you.
Yes.
No question.
Yeah.
I mean, I even look back and think of like a couple of people that believed in me, and I'm like, yeah, without that, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Even with how much I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, children are almost all creative. They're always playing and fucking around with dolls and fucking around with Legos, and they're moving things around, and they're using their mind they're drawing, they're doing stuff that's creative. It's just after a while that part of their life just kind of goes away and atrophies. And then they embrace the grind of whatever they're doing.
So it could lead to some sort of burst in that. Yeah,
The hard part's going to be people that are already set in their ways, and when their job just goes away, when it just becomes irrelevant.
And that's about governing.
Yeah.
And what do we do? Yeah. No,
but the government's terrible at everything. Yeah. They're not going to be good at getting people to be creative.
Or just like, how do we deal with it? Any transition can be various states of volatility.
What do you think movie making is going to be like? I mean, how much of a play is AI going to have in filmmaking?
I mean, it already has a play. in it, in terms of what certain houses use, whether it's writing or special effects, or I don't even know how much AI is used. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's used at every level, just like in every other aspect of the workforce. But I don't know. I don't know. All I know is like, again, telling stories where that you feel like you can relate to it, no matter how. And that what's wonderful is, I'm watching Avatar. Like I saw a movie the other night that I didn't believe anybody in it. And if I'm not believing it, I can't stay awake.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love Avatar. I love, and I love sci-fi stuff. I love it. And Leah and we were watching, cause we watched 3, then 2, and we were watching 1. So in bed, we were watching parts of 1. And I was like, I had just gone from watching this movie that like, I didn't believe anything anybody was doing the whole time. So I was out of it. And then I'm like watching Avatar for 2 seconds. Like, 2 people are, they're on a thing and they're blue, but they're talking to each other.
Right.
I don't know. I think whatever they're doing, they're talking to each other.
Yeah.
So
Avatar was fascinating because of Avatar depression. You know about Avatar depression?
No.
There was so many people that loved Avatar so much and connected with the idea of living on Pandora and being in that world and being the Na'vi that they wished that they were there.
I get it.
And so they were developing Avatar depression. It was like they were talking about it like it was a psychological condition that people were affected by. That's how good that movie was.
Yeah.
It gave people depression
first of all, there's
that they
something about
weren't
the
a
color,
giant blue person.
The color blue, that alone, and the color of blue that James Cameron landed on.
What do you think that is?
I don't know, but that blue is pretty wonderful.
Do you think it's the ocean when the sun hits it?
It feels like, the Caribbean or something.
Right.
Yeah,
like it's life.
exactly.
It
With like white
life.
sand and overhead light. Yeah, through water. Yeah.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Because if they
but
were
I get
red,
it. By the way,
that would be
I'm
odd.
like, when's 4 and 5? Come on.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I haven't seen 3 yet. Is it great?
I loved it.
I
Yeah.
loved 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I fucking love those movies.
Me too.
Yeah. There's a great ride at Disney World.
I heard about it in Orlando, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait to go.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah. Are you on the...
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a VR ride. You put a helmet on and you sit on this thing that looks like a motorcycle.
Oh my god!
And then all of a sudden, like you feel wind. It's got like physical elements to it, and smells and mist. And you're flying on one of those dragon things.
Yeah,
and you're flying
it's
around
nuts.
Pandora. It's incredible. But that movie was so impactful that people got depressed that they weren't living there.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. I mean, I think it happens all the time. They just have a term for it now.
Yes.
But I'm sure it happened with Star Wars.
Dancing with Wolves.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, how many people wanted to be a Native American and live with the Native Americans because they saw Kevin Costner do it and like, oh, this is better. This is better than living in the town with all those assholes going to the saloon.
You know?
Yeah, there's something about that. There's something about like living in harmony that appeals to people. And I think that has always been the appeal of, there's a lot of people that were kidnapped when they were young by Native American tribes. Like there's a photo outside in the lobby, I don't know if you saw it, of Quanah Parker. He's the last of the Comanche chiefs. And there's a lot of like city streets and areas all around Austin that are named after Comanche. There's like Quanah Parker Lane and all these things. And his mom was Cynthia Ann Parker. She was kidnapped by the Comanche when she was 9. They killed her family, wiped out her whole family in Oklahoma. It's documented in the book Empire of the Summer Moon. It's an incredible book. That all talks about the conquering of Texas and the Comanche fighting the Texas Rangers. But this woman was kidnapped when she was 9, married the Comanche chief, and her son was Quanah Parker. So her son was half colonizer, half Native, half Comanche, and he became the last Comanche chief. And this lady, they rescued her when she was 30. And she kept trying to escape. She wanted to go back.
Right.
Like no one ever like went to the Native Americans and then wanted to go back to regular Western life. They all wanted to stay with the Native Americans. They loved that life. There's something about this ancient way of living, subsistence hunting, living on the land. That was
you've talked about it on your show, on the show, about the need to go out in nature.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, it's like, oh right, You know, it's very important.
I think it's a vitamin.
No question.
Yeah.
Yeah, Native American, and also like you think about. I mean, yeah, I'm a fan of all that. There's this guy, great writer, M. Scott Momaday and Sherman Alexie. You know, just writing about. It's pretty. Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah, but people that went and lived with the Native Americans never wanted to go back to the West. But people that lived in a Native American life and then moved to the West, they always wanted to go back. Like it never went the other way. And but somehow or another, the way of the Western people, the way of the settlers, won out by like sheer volume and numbers and this concept of progress. Yeah, technology.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the reason why they were able to pull it off in the first place, was the Colt revolver. Because without the revolver, they all had muskets, and the Comanche had like 5-6 arrows, and they would run at them.
That
and
Mel
shoot.
Gibson movie. Remember the end of the Mel Gibson movie?
Which movie?
You know, it's
Apocalypto?
So good. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah.
He finally escapes, and he gets to the beach, and then the boats are coming.
Yeah.
Like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
After you just watch him go through the whole thing. You're like, the musket's coming.
Yeah. The musket and then the rifle.
And
And then the revolver.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
Well, it was just steel. You know, that was the crazy thing about the Aztecs and Cortez, is just they had steel armor, and you know they were riding horses, and everybody's like, these guys are gods. Like, this is crazy. They have metal, and that's all it took. 13 muskets, 600 men.
Yeah,
conquered Mexico. It's just, it's weird the way progress moves. It's because I mean, you can call it progress, but is it even better? I mean, what is progress? It's like technological innovation and adaptation to it. I don't know if it's progress.
It all feels very overwhelming, and I think that's where the downside of our ability to have so much access to information, or me have so much access to information, is that it starts to take my breath away.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's why it's like, what's just simple.
Well, that's why it's smart that you're not on social media.
Right.
Yeah, because that's the main tap into the overwhelming.
But I still feel overwhelmed, you know, even though I'm not on social media, you know, whatever my news feed is, you know what I mean, and what I can actively look up and listen to is still, you know, 100 times X as when I was a teenager.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the fact that I even have a phone to do it.
Right.
You know, so I even feel that, but you're right, I can't even imagine what social media does.
It does a lot, and it does really does a lot for young people. They're just being wired in a way that no human being has ever been wired before. Like their whole, all of their interactions are different than anybody that's ever lived.
Yeah,
which is so strange. It's like, because there's been minor changes over time that have led to, like, just the invention of cable, right? Just that changed
Massive.
everything.
Yeah,
Massive.
changed it for me. I probably wouldn't have wanted to do this. I mean, there was a movie theater across my backyard was train tracks and then a movie theater. I loved it. Watched Stand By Me 100 times. Would walk it, pretended I was there. But then like Comcast came through and Prism and HBO, and all of a sudden I can watch Taxi Driver 14 times and The Elephant Man and Popeye and Apocalypse Now and Raging Bull. Like, you know, from 12 to on, that I would never have had. It was like Platoon for 6 months, Yentl. You know what I mean? It's like there was one choice. So yeah, it's interesting.
Well, it's weird too now that you have instantaneous access. Like now it's not even, Apocalypse Now is on at 8 o'clock on Saturday.
We just pulled up the clip that I was talking about, which is
instantly in the middle of a conversation.
Which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great if it doesn't overwhelm you.
Yeah.
If you use it and it doesn't use you.
Yeah.
But the problem is,
I feel like that with music. I feel like that with so many things, don't you? It's like, yeah. That's why I love books still. I still love books. It's like
a physical copy.
Yeah, I do. I love books.
Yeah, I don't necessarily read books very often. Most of my interaction with literature is just audio.
Yeah.
Just because of a time thing.
Right.
For me, my time is just, it's too difficult for me to manage all
I
the
have
things.
a hard time staying with audiobooks. Retaining it. I start thinking about the rhythm of the voice and my brain goes to other things, like who's the person talking, where are they sitting? I don't know, like it changes.
Well, that's probably why you're a great actor.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it has to have something to do with it because you're you're considering this as a human being. You're absorbing their humanity.
Right.
While
where this is like words and like unlocks my imagination.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm here and it's like, I don't know what's going to come.
Right. The words are in your head. The voices are in your head.
Yes.
Yeah. And you don't necessarily have to assign a sound to them.
Yeah, they take on, and they change, and they morph, and you don't know what's going to happen.
Well, there's probably a real value to that just in terms of the enhancement of your own intellect, just to constantly be doing that. And as you're reading this, be engrossed and absorbed in this person's writing, and then like being taken on this journey.
Yeah. Yes.
Where it's like stimulating all these parts of your mind.
Yeah, I was just on the track in Rome in the Olympics, you know what I mean? And the guy was just coming and taking, wearing 2 sweatshirts to like intimidate, it's amazing.
Yeah. It's
But the thing that's maybe changing is like it does ask a lot of the reader or the viewer to come at it with their imagination.
Yes.
And then there's something about taking all that away and you're just receiving. That'll be it's very new. And then that's a huge change. There's not so much communication going on, it's just receiving.
But there's also the mastery of like that guy doing Lord of the Rings and like the taking in what he's doing,
Yeah.
Then realize this one fucking person is doing all these different voices. This is nuts.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But you have more access now to other people's creations than ever before. Like you can be absorbed in other people's work all the time now.
Yes.
Instantaneously on your phone. I'm sitting here. I'm bored. Let me just get someone's creation and plug it into my head.
Or somebody's thoughts on something or research they've done.
Yeah.
That's what's amazing.
Oh yeah.
That's what I've learned on your show too. Just no one had access to that, or it was frowned upon.
Right.
Or like, well, you're not smart if you talk about this.
Right.
It's like let everybody decide.
Right.
And the truth is, we don't know fucking anything.
No. Well, there's a lot of gatekeepers when it comes to what you should or should not be interested in.
Yeah.
Or should or should not be discussing.
I remember being in college, and there was a student, African-American student, who I was friends with, and I remember him saying, like, man, this the one course, he's like, it's just not, they're not telling the story. And I remember, and he went and he talked, this is in 1995 or 4. Wait, no, I graduated in 97 from college. Yeah, so I think I was a sophomore. And like he was just what he was talking about was like other ways of looking at history, and like can't we just look at other stuff? And it's fascinating. Now it's like there's whole courses on it or sections that you can read and learn and hear what people that's kind of amazing.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah.
I think it's amazing as long as you could be not strict, but as long as you can be, what's the word? That you're like, okay, I'm looking at it. This is not, the Bible of what it is, but let me just hear this take. That's only healthy, I think.
100%. Yeah.
The problem and the fear is like, oh no, you're going to get, and then the cults and the group and the thing, and all of a sudden there's a movement and. But whenever that happens anyway, there's so much infighting and the thing gets diluted anyway. Like it's never going to work.
Right. Well, that's the thing about the Bible itself, is the Bible is a series of stories that were an oral tradition for who knows how many years before they eventually wrote it down. Then they translated it from dead languages and eventually to English. Like, what is this? Like, what was the original? What is the meaning of this? Like, what?
And you don't even have to go back that far. It's like just how we take it, label, all they are labels of what's words, language. You and I communicate using these system of symbols, vocal symbols that we both think mean something.
Yeah.
But when I say protein bites, it's like you're looking at that differently than I am. So it's so impossible anyway. We're just desperately trying to communicate.
Yes.
That's all we're doing,
yeah.
like desperately, and have a story. Like, what's our story? What's our story?
That's going to be the weirdest aspect of communication through technology, is that we're going to get to a point where we're communicating without words. That's going to get really weird. Telepathy.
That to me is scary because I don't trust my thoughts. Do you know what I mean? Like if I've learned anything as I've gotten older, it's like, oh yeah, let that wash through me. I don't have to judge myself for that.
Right.
That was crazy.
Right.
Whoa.
Right.
No. It's okay. Let it wash through
Judge
you.
me by my actions.
Yeah. I do believe that.
Not by what's going on inside my head. Yeah. But and then managing the thoughts and deciding what to act on and what not to.
And imagine like trying to consciously control your thought. I mean, all of a sudden, talk about control, trying to control.
Well, I think it's going to be a completely different way of interacting with each other. That's going to be as crazy as internet communication and what we're dealing with now. That's going to be another level of crazy because we're essentially going to be telepathic. And that's inevitable. That's in the word. I mean, Elon said that to me because you're going to be able to communicate with no words. I was like, okay. What does that mean?
Yeah.
What is that like? What language is it going to be in? Is it going to be in a new universal
kind of exciting.
language? It's very exciting.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Yeah, it's both.
We're going to be different.
Yeah. I just hope I'm around to experience it.
You will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to happen fairly quickly. I think it's going to happen within the next couple of decades. The things are going to be unrecognizable.
If less than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just being like really charitable.
Yeah.
That a couple of decades. It's probably going to be 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, you've talked to enough people that are on the front lines of it, and there is one sort of constant thing that it's sooner than you think.
And everyone on the front line is fucking terrified.
I know.
All of them.
I know.
Even the ones that are working towards it.
I know.
They're all like,
That's true.
Like, I don't know
It's
if
like,
this is good, but
buckle
we're
up,
doing
buddy.
it. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Strange stuff. Yeah. Hey, man, I'm glad we did this. This
Oh,
was a lot of fun.
Joe. You know, it's real quick. It's just fun to see the progression of it. It's like I'm here, and then like the Elephant Man. By the end of it, I just see your eyes talking to me. It's like I forgot the room and Jamie and the whole thing. I understand the gift. I get it.
Well, it's because we're locked in.
Yeah, but I get it. I see. I get it because I love watching you have guests on, and then through the time, you just start to things just start to shed off, or it gets more awkward. Or like the rhythm gets off, and it's just so fascinating. And so I'm so honored to be able to be in the seat and experience it.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, it's
I'm
really,
honored
really
to
cool.
be able to talk to people like you and to be able to experience, you as you're talking, I'm experiencing life through your eyes. And I'm getting a better sense of what it is to be a person. And it's just like these little thin layers, like you're building a mountain with one layer of paint at a time.
That's it.
Yeah.
Everything is that.
Everything is that.
Yeah. Everything is that.
Yeah. If you're living a good life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you're definitely living a good life.
Oh, thanks, man.
It's been a pleasure getting to know you, man. You're cool as fuck.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.
My pleasure. All right. Everybody, is this thing on? Is out now, right?
Yeah, opens wide tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So today, I guess. Yeah.
Today as this podcast comes out.
Correct. Yeah.
And go check it out. It's awesome.
Thanks, man.
Bradley, you're the man. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody.